everybody. Welcome to Impossible Coin. I am Brian Cartwright, and I am joined by Rocky Hardy.
Oh, yeah, hey, that's me.
I'm also joined by the recovering convalescent Tegan Somerset.
Yeah, I'm over here.
Not dead.
Not yet.
Yep.
It's going to take more than that to kill me.
Just got 15 more years, Teagues. Just 15 more years.
And it's been way too long. Our podcast's younger brother, the individual who made our theme music, Big Sach.
Hey everybody, how you doing?
Hey, what up, Sach? How you been, man?
Oh, I've been well, just living life, I'm a working man now, so it's been different, getting game time in.
Yeah. What have you been playing?
Well, so I have been playing a lot of the new Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
Okay.
And Mass Effect is a series that is very near and dear to my heart, but not because I played it when it came out. I played it like 5 years ago when I got my gaming PC, and I bought Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, and I finally played them. And at that time, honestly, the Legendary Edition, it doesn't feel that much different from playing it on PC 5 years ago or whatever, other than the fact that I had to download a mod to use a controller for all three of the games.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had weird controller support, but things like the Mako, there was just not much. But so I'm now on Mass Effect 2, which is my favorite of the trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
I also understand that, Brian, you have never played Mass Effect?
It's true.
What's up with that?
You've never played Mass Effect?
This is one of the weird things about me as a gamer. I have weird gaming blind spots. Mass Effect is one of those things where so often the people recommending Mass Effect to me were insufferable, and so I just assumed that if Mass Effect is anything like the people recommending it, then fuck Mass Effect.
Brian, I need to know when that lines up, because I feel like we've had enough of this particular conversation where it's just yeah, there's this really cool thing, but the worst people keep recommending it. So I don't play it because I don't want to be like these terrible people. When is that lined up for you?
I don't know. The people who like Rick and Morty are real pieces of shit. And
yes.
Okay, and as near as I can tell, I've tried to watch some Rick and Morty, and I'm fuck this Gen X try-hard crying porn.
That's such a good one.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And if you don't like that, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it lined up there.
Fair enough. Rick and Morty's a good shot. Withdrawn.
Yeah. I think Mass Effect, especially the first one, it does something really cool, I think, with the whole decision making. It's just knowing from the big. Well, you didn't even know when you play the first. I guess if you played it when the first Mass Effect came out, right? That the Mass Effect, your decisions would carry over and things like that. But I play with that in mind, right? Thinking, oh, this is my Shepherd who's going to carry over through the thing. But it does something cool with really allowing you to dig deep into everything. And I know so many games have done that now. It's the conversation system. What I've been really liking is just getting into a headspace with the character and I guess really role playing my Shepherd, being well, you die at the beginning of Mass Effect 2 and you're brought back to life by a shady human supremacist organization. And so I start playing Mass Effect 2 a little bit more like a dick because I'm just well, I'm not into this. I'm not happy with this. I'm not excited about this. But and going back to all those characters and seeing their reactions because it's so fun the way it carries through every character, I don't know. I've been going back and forth through it because really what I've been playing the most of lately is Final Fantasy XIV.
Yes! And are you doing the free trial and playing the critically acclaimed Heavensward expansion?
Jesus. I haven't gotten up to Heavensward yet. No, I haven't gotten to Heavensward yet.
No, for sure. Okay.
I did buy a subscription because I paid $60 for Shadowbringers or whatever.
Yeah.
It's you have to use the subscription at that point or something like that.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, so but I bought it last year during the pandemic and the pandemic's still going on, but I bought it last year and it became a game I would play during class and things like that. When I was in class,
when things are slow, yeah.
Things are just slow, I would just have my laptop on with the thing going. I don't have to, participate, and I would just play. Now it's it's just the perfect relax, put on a podcast, put on some TV, put on some music, and I just like to relax and play that game. So I've been playing as a samurai. I just switched my class because I hit level 50 like a couple weeks ago.
For sure.
A friend of mine and I have been playing, and he started a couple of years ago, and he was like, he just wanted to reach level 60 so bad. All he wanted was, I gotta reach level 60, and I gotta make it to become the Dark Knight. You know, or what is it? Dark Knight? Is that what it is?
No, yeah, it's Dark Knight.
Dark Knight, right? He's like, he just wanted to play as the Dark Knight. He just loves Dark Knight. He wants to play as Dark Knight. He didn't want to do the thing where you like pay $10 and like skip to level 60 so you can just like play as the Dark Knight or whatever.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
You should tell him, once he gets past Heaven's Ward, you can just switch to Dark Knight.
No, he did switch, so now he started there. But you have to start back from level 30, you know?
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah. So he helped me level up. I started as a Dragoon. Which is, you know, it was pretty fun, but like, it was extremely like the same every single time. Like, I just pressed the same combo every time. I just like sat back, basically just like close my eyes, like press the buttons, like, you know, hit the enemy, like, okay, move on to the next guy. And it was like, it was very like rinse and repeat, but I did love it. Like, I love the music. I love the design. I love like just the world of the game. Like when you log in and you end up, you're a New Gridania and there's like a fucking band of bards playing music. Like, what the fuck? I was like, I logged in one day and they were just playing music, a whole group of people. I was like, this is amazing. I was like, what is this game? Like, I love this. Like that kind of thing is something that like you can't, I don't know how other MMOs are, but that kind of thing is something I don't ever like get in any other game experience, you know? It just,
no, I feel you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
So in Final Fantasy XIV, you could pay $10 to be Batman.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
If you want.
Well,
actually, in some cases, it doesn't even cost $10.
Yeah, no, because the ninja class is the starting class, so,
yeah.
You know, I would say Batman is a ninja. I know, I got your joke as the Dark Knight, but he's a magician. He does magics, and Batman does not do the magics. But I decided to switch to Samurai at level 50 because, you know what? I fucking like Samurai, and I'm not ashamed to say it.
Dude, Samurai's actually lit.
Yeah.
It's really fucking nuts. It's kind of crazy.
I mean, it's a lot.
Sometimes you just gotta be true to you.
Yeah, exactly, right? It's like, but the class is like a lot more involved. There's like 3 gauges, there's like 3 coins you have to manage, and then like a sword gauge. It's like, if you do like one combo, you fill the one coin, and then you get like you buff through by doing through the combo you buff, and then you spend your coin, like 1 coin to do 1 attack, you spend 2 coins to do another attack, 3 coins to do like the attack. So it's like you get a nice rotation, you know. I'm not like big on like following the like meta like rotation, you know. I mean, like my friend, he's like always like messaging me all this shit. He's like, this is like the most meta rotation. You gotta like drink a potion and then you do this and that and this and that and that. I'm like, I mean,
honestly, it's not super important unless you decide to raid or if you care about parses.
Yeah, I'm not doing like raiding. I'm not like doing high crazy level things yet. I'm only like level 50 trying to like, I'm going through the story. Although like it got to a certain point where I stopped kind of paying attention to what was going on, and it made me feel bad because it's like there's so much writing, there's so much dialogue. It's like it's kind of hard for me to like even imagine like how much like writing is in this game. It's like on another thing.
Like it's like 10 years worth of stuff. But the cool thing is that like if you go to any of the major cities, you can like go to a hotel and revisit like any of the cutscenes.
What?
Like I did a little bit with that with like Tegan the other day because I wanted to show her like what like the end of Shadowbringers looked like.
Yeah, they're fucking wild.
Yeah,
they are absolutely nuts.
I do want to tell you that like as you're getting closer into like Heaven's Ward, Dragoon gets a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I feel like the rotation doesn't really get clean until post 70.
Okay.
But there's a whole storyline with Dragoon where you are basically fucking with actual dragons and like you can draw power from like dragon eyes.
Okay.
And like that builds into like the Dragoon's like rotation as like a mechanic.
Oh wow.
You have like buff windows where you basically like pull on like the power of a dragon eye. That's like your burst window and stuff.
Oh shit. Wait, that sounds cool as hell.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I might actually try checking that out then. I've been like leveling up Samurai, but maybe the Dragoon is where my true heart lies, you know?
Sure, man.
Big spears and shit.
Honestly, like the jump, especially, oh god. Did you watch the Endwalker trailer?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Because there's a character that shows up in Heaven's Ward who's also a dragoon, and he does like this dive. The dive, it makes like concentric circles like on your flight path, and then like collapses into like a billow of like purple flame, and like that's just a thing you can do as a dragoon. Like,
What?
yeah, you can just do that eventually.
Purple flame, yes. Okay, yeah, that sounds. I'm sold. You sold me. I think I'm switching back. I'm switching back, boys.
Fuck with it, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'll try it out. I mean, it's good, you know. And one thing I do love is the music in that game is just it's so crazy. It's like,
oh yeah,
it's just beautiful, man. And
music fucks, man. It's so good.
it fucks. The music fucks. And when you get on the Magitech armor and it plays like a orchestral version of Terra's theme from Final Fantasy VI. I was like all the way in because like I just played that game, so I was like, oh my god, I just played Final Fantasy VI. It's like the song from that. It was like hitting me so good.
Yo, how was Final Fantasy VI, man?
So that is a really really cool game. Like I didn't finish it all the way through, so like I'm still kind of playing it. I got a Mister last year.
Go on.
It's very cool, yeah. So I played a lot of retro games last year, and also like a friend of mine who I played Final Fantasy 14 with. We've been going to this local retro store and buying a lot of like PS2 games. I mean, he has a Dreamcast and shit. He's like been like buying all these Dreamcast games, but I just been buying a lot of PS2 games. And I was like, you know what? Maybe let me try getting the Mister because I want to play the SNES. I want to just play everything, right? I want to try everything I can. And so the first thing I started with was Chrono Trigger.
Hell yeah.
And honestly, that game is like the perfect JRPG.
Oh yeah, it's one of the goats.
It truly is perfect. Like, it doesn't waste your time at all. I love it so much because it's like I played through it and it never felt like, oh man, like where am I going? I gotta like, what did that person say? Like the blue village, and I'm like on this like map forever, and I'm just like doing random battles, and I don't know what's going on. No, it's like boom, boom. You feel like, oh, you're traveling through time and like this, you know, the story, and like it was so cool to see like all those New Game Plus type elements and like where you can end the story. It's so many times where like I accidentally like went to the thing. I didn't even realize I ended the story early. Then I like went back to an earlier save and like, you know, I went back through it. It was like,
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. Like I didn't even realize that it had things like that. I mean, I'm sure it was an influence, like such a large influence on like other games after it, you know?
Chrono Trigger walked so Nier Automata could run.
You're 100% right, because Nier Automata is one of my favorite games of all time. And like, I felt the parallels with it. Like that is, yeah. Oh man, I also played the Nier, man. Did you guys play that?
Teeks has been playing it, I think.
Yeah, I've been working my way through it. I'm not very far though.
Okay, yeah. I beat that a couple of weeks ago. That game is, yeah, that's something else. I mean, I think I do prefer Nier Automata. I think it's got more, like a little bit more. The story just hit me a little bit
Meat
harder.
on it?
Yeah, it's got more meat. I was gonna say it, literally that. It's got more meat to it. You know, Nier Replicant. It's a very 2010, 11 game, right?
Mm-hmm.
It feels like that, and like even in its story, even though like if I played it then, it would have like blown my mind. It's still like a little bit more stripped down from what Nier Automata does, even though it is really, it's powerful. I mean, especially the character interactions. Like, I don't know if you've met Emil yet, but Emil, like just seeing him, his story is like, it's beautiful. And then what they did with ending E, I'm not going to say like much about it because you're still playing the game, but I think it's a cool idea, and I think like probably people who played the game when it came out, they would have been like interested to see like what's up with that, because it's a new thing they added at the beginning. Anyway, yeah, I've been playing a lot of JRPGs. If you didn't realize,
Hey man, I'm a fan of JRPGs. I'm down.
yeah. And then also Final Fantasy VI, like I said, didn't finish it yet, but I've been working on that on my Mister. Yeah, and so the Mister has been a great thing. I bought like a full like pre-made kit. Like I'm not like, I didn't want to do all the like the stuff for it, you know.
You did the Gerstmann?
Yeah, I did the Garrison. Yeah.
For the people that don't know what a Mister is, do you mind elaborating?
Yeah, sure. I was going to ask. Yeah. So the Mister is an FPGA emulator. It's like a Linux-based device. It's based on the board, the DE10 Nano. I don't want to screw up too much because I bought a full kit. There are a lot of add-ons you can do. So basically, what it is the FPGA is like a hardware emulation. So essentially, they're writing cores that emulate at a hardware level what's going on. I mean, it's more complicated than that, and I don't really understand. Even though I am like a computer science guy. I still, even that is like, I have to read. I still want to read more and understand it more. But so basically, what I can do is I can load up all kinds of arcade games. They're like very perfectly, emulated. SNES, NES, like all things up to there. Neo Geo, that like stuff like that, like TurboGrafx 16. So you can emulate all those kind of games, and it's pretty cool. It's this Linux interface. It's all controllable, and you can like load scripts on there to like download, to like update it. It's all really cool. I mean, it's a little bit like DIY. Like you have to kind of understand a little bit about like downloading things from GitHub or like how to like just like run scripts from the thing. But it doesn't take much effort at all. Like, I think pretty much anyone could do it. And I think if you are interested in getting one or doing it, you should do it soon, because prices of D10 Nano is going up, especially as the Mister grows in popularity. It's becoming harder to get and becoming more expensive. So, and there are a lot of add-ons, right? So, like, certain cores require, like, to play, like, CPS2, Capcom Pro System 2, I think, like, which isn't out yet. It's in a beta, but for example, something like that, or even CPS1 games like those arcade versions of Street Fighter 2 and things like that.
Fucking Rainbow Edition.
Yeah, exactly. Right. You need all that, right? So you need an SD-RAM board, like SD-RAM, like extension, and those kind of things are like, they're optional. So like if you're not thinking, oh, I'm going to play those games, you don't even have to have that addition to your board, and you can just get what you want to play GBA games or Game Boy Color or NES and SNES. You can get more than just one, or it obviously is. Each thing covers a lot, but it's been cool. Yeah.
One thing I'll definitely say about Misters is, like, if you say, like, gosh, the benefit set of Mister sounds really appealing, but man, that sounds like a lot of work. You can do an entirely different group of research, which is sitting on Etsy for 19 years and reading a billion reviews, because there are plenty of dudes out there who are like, please let me send you a Mister which has been primed and ready to set up based on your specifications as a customer.
Yeah.
Some of these dudes are trash, some of them are not. So
right. Well, I think Mr. Add-ons is the best, also known as Pork Chop Express. He's a good guy. I got an aluminum case and everything. It's all nice and it's beautiful. I mean, it looks really cool. Like, I mean, like, it's fun because you get to just play the most random games. Like, I was just scrolling through like the SNES library with my girlfriend, who's just like not really into like games that much. And she likes games, but not like retro games, I guess. And there was just like some Barbie game, and we just like sat there and played like the Barbie like driving game for like, I don't know, like an hour and a half or something. It was like mad fun. It was like, it's just like you just like see things like that like, or like especially for things like the GBA, like for like when I was a kid, it's like all these games that like I wish I could play, but I never got them because like, I just saw that on the shelf or whatever, and like it was rated M. Like I wasn't allowed to play rated M games as a kid, so. All my friends were, though. Made me sad.
It's a whole thing.
It is a whole... I mean, I wasn't allowed to play video games on weekdays, either. My parents sometimes would, like...
Neither was Teagues, yeah.
Someone else
yeah.
understands my struggle, finally. Fuck.
Dude, yeah. I think that's why I play so many video games now, is to compensate for all that time.
Right!
Yeah.
It's like they didn't think about it all the way through. They really do.
And, like, yeah, nowadays, all my mom is just like, you play that tick, tick, tick all the time. Like, like, they say tick, tick, tick because it's, like, the sound, like, the buttons make.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, like, you're always playing that, like, tick, 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 I'm like, all right, man, relax, Back when I was a kid, there was sometimes, like, when they wouldn't trust that we wouldn't play, even though we wouldn't, like, they weren't even home, like, they were, like, at work. And, like, we just wouldn't play just out of fear, right? But, like, they wouldn't trust that we wouldn't play. So my mom would, like, unplug all the cables, and she would, like, put them in the trunk of her car and just, like, take them to work with her.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, I've been there.
Was never that bad. That was only, like, if I was grounded.
Yeah, it's just, like, yeah, it was, like, in situations like that where, like, I really don't trust that you're not going to play video games, It's like, all right. Man. But...
Maybe if you'd let me play video games when I was a kid, I would have learned better sense of self-control. Now that I'm an adult, Mom.
That's what it is.
Okay, I have some hard-hitting questions.
Mm-hmm.
First, was the Barbie game for the SNES that you were playing Barbie Supermodel or Barbie Vacation Adventure?
I think it was Barbie Vacation Adventure.
Okay. The one with the scuba stuff in it, too.
Yes.
Okay. And speaking of the GBA... Did you know that Way Forward excellent developer,
Yes.
did 2 Barbie games for the GBA.
No, I did not. Might have to pop those on.
Yeah. They had an itch to do some Metroidvanias.
No way.
Yes, they are Barbie Metroidvanias.
Oh my god. We are playing that tonight. Oh my god.
Yeah, those are Barbie and the Magic of Pegasus and Barbie and the 12 Dancing Princesses.
Oh my god, yes. Barbie and the Magic of Pegasus. That sounds like heaven.
Right.
I love licensed games so much.
Yep.
You know, a lot of like the most popular games when I was a kid in like the early 2000s on PS2 were mature games, you know. Not all of them, but a lot of them were. And so like I just wasn't allowed to play them. So like I used to get a lot of licensed games. Like I just have like a soft spot in my heart for those licensed games.
I totally agree. I think there's something really interesting about how like a licensed game allows, you know, like a developer who has the license, it feels like more room to like play around with the mechanics because less people are scrutinizing the source material. They're like, oh, it's SpongeBob, who gives a shit?
Exactly.
And so that way they can play more with like how everything works. I don't think that GoldenEye would have been nearly as groundbreaking as it was if they had to worry about like the creation of new IP. And I think you can easily point to that as truth because when you look at like Perfect Dark, people started to be like, well, I'm not so sure about this, you know,
exactly,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
You're 100% right, yeah. And yeah, James Bond is like, yeah, if you're making the IP, yeah. I think we're missing that nowadays, you know. It's something that I wish we still had. I mean, Lego is the only one holding it down. I think, you know, they're still doing their Lego licensed games, which rule, but they're the same. They're all the same, which is like the sad part. Well, they have differences in between, right? It's like, oh, Star Wars, you have the Force, the Marvel one. There was that Marvel one where you could just like fly around New York City. That game was nuts. I was like, it had so many characters. It had like all these like I don't know. I love all that.
For sure.
Man, dear TT Games, I hope everything's okay over there and you guys come through the Warner Media bust up all right. Please, please, please give me Lego City Undercover 2. Love, Brian.
Oh my god, yes. Give me Lego Island again. I love that game. Yeah.
Also, it looks like here you've encountered a woman with an absolute dump truck of an ass.
Yeah, yes, I have, but unfortunately, only for like, I don't know, 2 freaking hours. Like the ass was only there for 2 hours. It was.
Yes.
I was very disappointed. They marketed the game. I thought there was going to be more tall vampire lady, and there was not enough Lady Domitresque. And it was very disappointing. I think the game is fine. I mean, the game is like whatever. It's like, yeah, it's a good game. But like, give me more Lady D. Game is fine. Give me more Lady D. I like just like on the game. It's like it's fine. It's like whatever. I mean, the beginning sucks. The beginning is so bad. Like you start
that ridiculously claustrophobic. Okay, like the first. Okay, for anybody out there who hasn't yet played Resident Evil Village or 8 or whatever the fuck you want to call it, the first 10 minutes of that video game sucks shit. Like just no way around it.
It's so bad. I would say like the first like hour, and the first hour and a half. I was just like I was like, man, I don't know if I like this. Like I was like, I don't know if I like. It's like I was just like not feeling it. I was like, maybe it's a first person thing. Maybe it's Ethan. I don't know if I like him. I don't know if I like really what's going on with the story. Like you said, the first 10 minutes are so bad. Like the first 10 minutes are just absolute flaming garbage pile trash.
I want to slightly revise because like I'm fine with the stuff like in Ethan's house where he's just like walking around like being weird and dumb and he's just like, hey wife, you know, like that stuff's fine. It's like as soon as things go sideways and then they like dump you in the woods and they're like, hey, what if you couldn't see this video game? Let's try that.
The first like 10 real playing minutes of the game, like not like you're walking around the house. Yes. Even though that part of the story is like I don't know what. And then, so I got to like the ending of the game, not the very end, and then this thing happened, which happens to me all the time, which is I get like to like the right at the end of a game, and then I just stop playing it, and I just never finish it. And that's I think what's going to happen with Resident Evil 8.
I feel bad, like I still haven't finished Yakuza Like a Dragon, and I know the ending is even bigger than what I just did, but like I don't know, I feel like I need to let it simmer or some nonsense.
Yeah, I got tired of that. It happens to me with every Yakuza game. I stop playing at the last boss fight, and then I come back to it like 2 months later. I finish it. I like finally get closure on the story. I'm like, all right, that was good. Like, because it's like I just put like 80 hours into this freaking game. I just like can't fucking punch a guy anymore. I just can't. Do it, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Although the ending of Like a Dragon is amazing. That game is really good. I do love that game. But Resident Evil 8, it's okay. It's cool because it like goes from like style to style, and also there's one part of the game that scared the living shit out of me. My heart was beating so fast. I was like, I was about to like stop playing the game. I mean, I don't want to like say like what it was, but like fuck that shit.
They do have some scares.
Was it the dollhouse?
Is it in the dollhouse? It's a giant thing. I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's like a giant thing, and it makes a lot of noises, and I don't like it.
For sure.
The dollhouse definitely bothered me.
Yeah. Did you finish it, Brian? Is the ending of that game any good?
Yeah, the ending is incredibly stupid, and I love it.
Okay, yeah, maybe I'll finish it. I think Mass Effect came out like right as like I was about to end it, so I was like, I'll just start playing Mass Effect again. I do love Mass Effect.
I feel like Resident Evil 8 is Owen Wilson and Ben Stiller staring at a Mac, going, "The files are in the computer," and I love it.
It is, yeah. The Ethan is such an idiot, and he's just he is good. Like by the the end part of the game I'm at, I've come to love him as a character, just like a lovable just dunce. It's amazing.
Good. I'm glad to hear that, because like I have this whole theory about like what Ethan is as it relates to like player experience. I think that he is like very much like a true avatar, and so I think when people say like "fuck Ethan, I hate him," like, man, go get some help. Like when you say you hate Ethan, you're talking about yourself. You know that, right? So I'm glad to hear that you have a positive emotional relationship with Ethan. It's good.
Yes, I do. Like, poor guy getting his hand cut off all the time.
It's okay. You just stick it back on. It's fine.
I love that so fucking much. Oh my god! You just put it back on and just pour fucking juice on it.
I mean, the first time they had to staple it, but like
yes, yeah, that was in 7, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fucking Resident Evil. Okay, so I'm going to talk about a bright, colorful, shiny game.
Are you going to talk about the best video game of all time?
Relax.
No, we already talked about Final Fantasy XIV and its amazing free-to-play capabilities up to level 60 and the new expansion. We already did that. We're talking about a different game now.
Yeah, so I've investigated Knockout City. It is not, unfortunately, the best video game ever made, because Chrono Trigger still exists.
Yes. Oh, yes.
But it is pretty cool. It is a great pick up and play game. It's very simple. It has robust controller and keyboard support. I've been playing it on PC for, PC reasons. You run around, you pick up dodgeballs, you throw them at other people. Everybody has 2 health. And you can flip or you can spin. And so you can throw lobs or curves. You can charge your shots, you can catch just about anything. It's very, very, very cool that way. There are unique super balls on every map. Some are better than others. You can pick up your teammates and throw them as balls. And when you hit someone with a teammate, it auto kills. So 2 hits with a normal dodgeball, 1 hit with a teammate. But the thing is that if they catch your teammate, they can throw them back at you. Or worse, just throw them off the fucking stage. It's really gnarly. But the game is fast and it's cool. It's definitely doing its customization right. Where you can do the custom emotes and dress up your character, because all the styles look great and the color choices are really bold. The demo ended as of the day of recording, so if you want to play it, you probably have to pay the $20. But it's $20, and it's a fun thing if you have at least 2 friends. Solos are kind of rough though. There isn't a etiquette that's formed yet around playing with people in a solo fashion. People love to run off on their own. People rarely pass in the game, which is kind of dumb, because passing is like really fucking strong. When you pass a ball to a teammate, it's auto charged, so they can just like click heads. They don't even have to like hold in front of someone or whatever. And if your teammate's already holding a ball, if you pass, it bounces back to you already charged. So you can just be perma charged by like walking next to a teammate, both holding balls and just passing them back and forth. It's really fucking nuts.
How many people are on each team?
There are 3 people on each team.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that's perfect. So yeah.
Right? And like there are also like duels that you can play. So like if you want to relive that scene from Dodgeball, an Underdog story, then yeah, you can just do that forever. And the world is weird. There's like the people who are participating in this Dodgeball in Knockout City are all called brawlers. It seems to be this weird citywide sport. You play in like weird places, like abandoned, like underfunded schools that are bought out by corporations and shit. Or like, you know, in like fleeced burger joints. There's a lot of weird stuff going on in the background of the game. And it seems like a pretty decent 3rd place. So like if you want to like have a place to hang out with your friends and, you know, throw some dodgeballs around, fuck with Knockout City.
Okay. All right. Question.
Sure.
Which do you think is more important for somebody who's thinking about fucking with this game? Does it have crossplay?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess it doesn't really matter where you get the game then.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Because the game is included in EA Play because EA would very much like for people to get EA Play.
Sure, yeah.
And if you have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, you just get EA Play as part of that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, I could download Knockout City for free on my Xbox, or I can spend money on it on Nintendo Switch or PC. I suppose theoretically I could do it on my PS4, but that would require turning on my PS4. So get it on Xbox because it's free there for me.
Sure.
Okay.
I think that's the best move.
Yeah.
I do want to let you know that like matches can get pretty sweaty. And I want you to hear me when I say this because I don't harp on this often, but like when matches get competitive, they're really tight and really gross. I've definitely played in some games where like I was just kind of kicking it and I'm not paying attention and our team like loses 10-2. Like,
okay,
we just get blown up. But like that's like more like in ranked play, I think. But, you know, like when you get your bearings and like you're rolling with the shits, it's really cool. It's a really fun, fluid like game.
Rock, you want to talk about Temtem?
Yeah, I'll get to that. I do want to talk about this new Nintendo Switch thing. I mean, because Bloomberg's been wrong before. I mean, technically they weren't wrong. Like they did say that Nintendo was working on like a beefier Nintendo Switch, and that's still true as far as we know. Mm-hmm. But like nothing came of it when they like dropped their like rumor last year or whatever. Like there wasn't really any news about it, I guess, after that. But they said that it's there should be an announcement before E3, which is coming up. It's like 2 weeks. And they said that it's going to be like 720 on like the actual handheld and it can upscale to 4K on TVs. That's going to be kind of weird. And I remember Brian having some thoughts, or believe you had a thread on it on Twitter this past week.
I had a whole Twitter thread, yes.
Mm-hmm.
There is an edge to this story that requires me to do a disclosure now.
Sure.
In the podcasting world, the people are represented by 2 separate yet equally important groups. Those who speak for Amazon and those who do not speak for Amazon. I do not speak for Amazon. So, like, this feels like this has a little bit more gas this time because a product listing appeared on Amazon.com.mx.
Yeah.
Which was the new Nintendo Switch Pro. Dear Nintendo, figure out this shit. Like, Jesus Christ. Like,
I'm not convinced that's the name.
I don't think that's the name. Well, if it is, it could be a translated name, right?
Maybe. I could believe that.
I don't know if that would not be what it is, but I could see new Nintendo. I wish it would be called the Super Nintendo Switch.
That could also be cool. As far as like the Bloomberg article, they said that like no one knows the title except for like a couple key people at Nintendo. So like if I'm willing to believe that, then it seems more likely to me that like Amazon Mexico had a SKU and they just put it up, rather than like it being like a memo that's already like floating around Amazon.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So like there's a couple different things in play here. One is that right now things are going very well for Nintendo.
Yeah.
From like a hardware install perspective. Historically, Nintendo has like dragged its feet about exiting a generation whenever their install base looks good. Like if you look at the NES, if you look at the Super Nintendo, if you look at the Wii and the Game Boy, like they're very much like, I don't wanna when it comes to like upgrading, and they don't until like prevailing market forces like absolutely demand it. I see three possible paths here. One is Nintendo emulates the business model of Microsoft and Sony, and what this thing does is offer like Nintendo Switch games for customers with just a higher fidelity. Here you go, like everything that will run in this box will run on that older box, 1-to-1. Everything that you could stick in here, you could stick in that. It'll just run better here. Something that kind of goes after the PS Pro or
right,
like Xbox One X model, the half step. Possibility 2, they fuck it up the same way they fucked up the 3DS and DS half steps, where like they're like, okay, it's better and it has a small handful of exclusive software, like the new Nintendo 3DS or the DSi.
Absolute bullshit that was.
Right. And then there is possibility 3, which is where they backdoor essentially a whole new console by promising something which is a half step, and then essentially delivering a whole new content library, which is like the Game Boy Color. Where they're like, hey, everybody, it's like your Game Boy, but it's in color. Never mind the fact that it's literally going to have an entire fucking content library. And if you look back at the GBC, which one of the things that the GBC was touted on was the idea that, like, there's going to be tons of GBC titles that you can just stick into a classic Game Boy. And of the, like, 570 or so titles that came out for a Game Boy Color, only 30% of them could run on the original Game Boy. But the reason that Nintendo was so keen on the Game Boy Color was that it essentially allowed them to launch a new console for handhelds for the people who wanted it, while at the same time not abandoning the significantly gigantic user base that existed for the original Game Boy. I kind of hope it's the emulates Sony and Microsoft half step, because then nobody gets screwed. But like knowing them, I feel like the most likely possibility is possibility 2, where they 3DS it.
That's 100% what they're going to do. I'd put money on it, because that's just how they operate, I feel like. They just don't do it the way that it would make sense for someone to do something like that. The 3DS thing was so dumb. I bought a 3DS around that time that the new 3DS came out, thinking I got the right one. I had no idea I didn't get the right one. And like I couldn't play like Super Metroid because it's like that's only on the new 3DS.
Right.
It was like so dumb. It's going to be like that. It'll be like this Super NES like emulated game is not available on your old Switch. It's only available on the new Switch. Like stupid things like that.
I kind of feel like we'll be able to tell what the industry thinks it is when they announce this thing. If they're like, hey, introducing the new Switch thing, if they say like introducing the new Switch thing and like all they do is like show us like that stuff runs better, then it's just an upgrade. If they're like, hey, check out this new Switch thing, by the way, here's a shit ton of games with rabbits in it, then like Ubisoft thinks it's a new console. Oh, Lord. But I think the most interesting part of this is that Nintendo is apparently going to say whatever they're going to say before E3 because they just want to talk about games at E3.
I mean, that's statistically like the better outcome, right? Like, they're not bringing Ferraris on stage or anything.
Right.
But like it being out in September seems like a mess. Like, I mean, it seems like it's going to be like the new Black Friday thing. And I don't want to deal with that. I mean, especially since I'm going to be playing Endwalker. Like, I won't have time for Black Friday.
Yeah, there's no time for that. I have to get to that level by then, but...
I mean, a September release automatically indicates to me that it's a half-step console, not a full-step console. Because there's no major Nintendo titles coming out in September. So it's not going to have, it's not going to be a simul release along, the new Pokemon games or Skyward Sword or, any kind of Nintendo flagship product.
That's fair.
That reads it to me as this is a half-step product. And so, it's not worth the time.
But Nintendo has been pretty tight-lipped about like their Q3 looks like at all. Like they've only been giving us horizons for game releases at this point a few months out. I don't think we know of anything past the Skyward Sword re-release in July. And something that they've been doing the last couple of months has been like, hey, everybody, we got a game coming out next month. Surprise! That's been part of like their new strat. They'll just like drop a trailer on YouTube and be like, our work here is done. Like Game Maker Garage, that didn't go into like the direct before it. Like they just announced it. Like it wouldn't surprise me at all if they're like, yeah, we're putting out a Switch thing in September. By the way, like here's a giant game.
So both remakes of Diamond and Pearl are coming out November 19th.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Arceus game isn't coming out until January next year.
Yep.
Right.
Like, so we have dates for major titles.
Okay. I do believe that those are an edge case for one reason, which is that, like, Nintendo doesn't get to control all of the messaging of the Pokemon company.
I mean, that's true, but if the Switch was going to be a simul release alongside a major console, it should be the new Pokemon games. At least it should be Legends Arceus.
Yeah.
With what they're trying to do with it, and that would put it January 28th, because that's when Arceus is coming out. So September doesn't make sense, is what I'm saying, for it to be like a new thing.
Yeah, November or December makes the most... November or January, rather, make the most sense. Yeah, like...
Yeah. The only other date I could think would be if, like, at E3, they're gonna announce that Breath of the Wild 2 comes out in March of next year to, like, mimic the original release of Breath of the Wild. And then this thing should release in March. There's nothing big from Nintendo coming out in September that we know of. Like, it doesn't even make sense for Splatoon. Splatoon, at best, would be, like, an August release.
Splatoon 3's not done. I thought didn't they say it was 2022 or something?
Yeah, Splatoon 3 is not done, but, like, that would be the only other thing I could think of as far as, like, major Nintendo releases don't typically come out over summer.
It has been 900 years since we have heard anything about Bayonetta 3.
We're not going to hear shit about Bayonetta 3.
You think Bayonetta 3 is going
to... It's absolutely not going to...
That game doesn't exist.
Like, you might as well tell me Metroid Prime 4 is going to come out in October, Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if Samus and Bayonetta did a kissing?
Brian, they said they had to start over. Like, what? Like, 5 months ago?
Bayonetta 3 will come out as a PlayStation exclusive. Like, at the rate they're going, that's what's going to happen.
Straight to PC.
Yeah. It's an Epic Game Store exclusive, yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg walks out on stage.
Oh no, Mark Zuckerberg says like Bayonetta 3 is an Oculus exclusive. Like, Oculus no.
Like, it's just like, if they're saying it's coming out in September, it's a half-step console, we already don't have to worry about it, you know?
Oh man, I'm gonna feel real embarrassed if it's like the Please Baby, I'm Sorry, like true Mario game. That like, we really wanted this out on the 35th, but we couldn't finish it in time, and we're just gonna put it out with a new half-step.
Okay, how about this? Mm-hmm. It launches with Super Mario 3D All-Stars, which doesn't suck ass this time.
That could be dope.
Nah. It launches with Sonic Colors, but the thing is, the new Super Nintendo Switch comes in like 6 different colors. And they're all clear plastic.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Wait a second.
Yes.
Hold on. I know what it is.
I figured it. I cracked the code.
What happens is that the new Mario and Sonic Go to the Olympics 2021 comes out the day that the Olympics ends on August 8th of this year.
Assuming the Olympics isn't canceled.
Yeah, maybe.
And in this one, Yoshi will kiss a human lady.
Oh, God. See the tongue kisser,
No,
too?
Yoshi
Jesus.
will kiss Shadow the Hedgehog.
Oh, no!
Yes. Sign me up. I'm buying that game.
Oh, my God. Okay, so anyways, speaking of monsters, I've been playing Temtem. It's definitely, okay, it's the Pokemon-like for people who don't want to listen to the mouthful I'm about to say, but it is a massively multiplayer online monster battling game. So it's essentially like the Pokemon MMO.
Can you fuck the monsters?
No, but you can make the monsters fuck. And they fuck faster than they ever have before, which is nuts. Before, like, if you wanted to breed a Pokemon, you had to find 2 Pokemon that were in a particular egg group. The game did not tell you what egg groups were. You had to, like, do external research to really figure that out. Once they were in an egg group, they would produce an egg. You don't know what's in the egg, but you had to like run around for something like 10,000 steps in game to hatch the egg. And then you got a Pokemon. It inherited some values that were entirely invisible. It had some moves that maybe it inherited, but maybe it didn't. And it would generally carry over the species of the mother. In Temtem, it's a lot more transparent. You are able to see these formerly invisible characteristics like standard values, species, moves that it would inherit and abilities before you actually pair off like to Temtem. Breeding takes 5 real-time minutes to get an egg.
Wow, that's beautiful.
You get a notification from the game when an egg has been laid. And once you have the egg, it takes somewhere between 5 to 45 real-time minutes. You don't have to do anything for the egg to hatch. So, like, naturally the game wants you to breed because it wants you to, like, try to build the perfect Temtem or whatever. But this leads to another problem. Now there's going to be a bunch of people with a bunch more Temtem just floating around. However, there is, like, a Temtem rights group that's built into the game called Free Temtem that will pay you to release Temtem into the wild, like, from captivity. So it's actually a very lucrative way to like make money to like engage with the breeding mechanics and then like release the Temtem just out into the world and get paid for it. It's really weird in a way that like Pokemon has done it over the years, but it's kind of cool. I fuck with it.
That is kind of neat, actually.
I like how, yeah, like, this is obviously made by people who love Pokemon so much that they're like, this breeding mechanic is just absolute. We have to change it. It's just like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, in Pokemon, riding on the bike doesn't even make the like, right? It has to be literal footsteps, right? Like, riding on a bike.
I think in later games you were able to ride the bike, but it still took forever.
It takes forever, yeah.
And there's some cool things that, like, they've done that, like, just seem smart that I feel like the Pokemon Company should have done. Like, for example, water and ice type are kind of consolidated just into water type.
Yeah.
So, like, ice type moves, which are, like, really good offensive moves, are just wrapped into water typing. Because, you know, ice has just, like, an awful defensive type. It's, like, weak to fucking everything.
Right.
And water is, like, a relatively stable defensive type. So you can just put that stuff together. They also consolidated rock and ground, which is, like, less egregious. Like, rock has, like, some weaknesses, but is nowhere near as bad as ice. There are also, like, positive and negative statuses. So, like, you have positive statuses like alert, so that, like, your Temtem can't be put to sleep. Or evading, where, like, you just get to dodge one attack, but all statuses degrade over time. So it's not like you're poisoned, like, forever. Like, I think the most you can status someone at once is, like, 3 turns. And also, like, there's no need for, like, Frozen Claws, which was just a dice roll that was, like, incredibly painful. Instead, you get a status called Cold, and if you can stack Cold twice on a Temtem, then it's frozen. They've built, like, immunities into certain types. Like, all fire types are just immune to being burned. All toxic types are immune to poison.
So smart.
That shit makes sense.
Right?
It's just, yeah. It's like, you play Pokemon, it's like, why don't they just do that?
You guys are gonna love this. So, Burn erases the cold or frozen status and vice versa.
Oh.
So, like, if a Temtem is frozen, they get hit by an attack that would normally burn them, it just gets rid of cold.
Oh my god, that's genius.
That's really nice.
There are also some, like, pretty weird things that are, like, mixed in, like, kind of carried over. Like, there was a thing that you could do in Pokemon. I forget the name of the move right now, but you could trap a Pokemon that you can't switch out anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Instead of that just being tied to that one move and making that status, like, last until that Pokemon dies, there's just a new status called Trapped. And, like, it works, like, the same way. Like, you can be trapped on the field for about up to 3 turns and whatnot. There's also a really spooky status called fucking Doomed, which is exactly what it is. Like, you get a timer, and, like, once it gets down to 0, that Temtem, like, KOs.
Oh.
And, like, there's a couple of, like, really interesting uses of it. I have a fire Temtem that learned an ability called Extinction. And you can't just use it on turn 1, because also a really smart thing about this game, in addition to, like, the stamina system, where you can't just spam, like, your most powerful attacks, there's also, like, a ramp-up system, where, like, you can only use this move after you've been on the field for 2 turns, or after 3 turns, or whatnot. So, like, Extinction is a high-cost 3-turn ramp-up move that makes it so all 4 Temtem on the field are marked with Extinction. And in 3 turns, no matter where they are, they will KO. And like the animation for it is just like, oh, hey, look, there's a meteor about to hit the planet. I guess we're done. There's also one that I've been using as like a comeback mechanic, and it's not a move, it's actually an item. I forget what the name of it is. It's this fucking dram that if this is the last Temtem on the field, that item activates and they get full health back, full stamina, and an attack boost, but they're doomed in 3 turns. I've won like 3 or 4 like dojo challenges, which are essentially the gyms, like off of that item just alone. Also, like weekly challenges are just built back into it. So like the same way like in, I guess, Gold Silver is probably the way that they did it best. You can challenge any of the dojos on a weekly basis with a competitive level team, and you get like money and like rewards for it. And so like you can play them like the real team as opposed to like whatever you were when you showed up. It adapts to the strongest Temtem that you have on your team. And competitive is also really different. Instead of just using like your normal 6 team, you have to like identify like a competitive group where you put like 8 Temtem together, and like they're not in boxes or anything. They're only bound by species clause, which means that you just can't have doubles of the same Temtem on your team. But your competitive team is you have 8 Tems in it, and the game starts with like a coin flip. You're either blue or orange, and like orange goes first, and you have a banning phase where you can just ban out 2 of the Temtem that you don't want to deal with on the opponent's team. And then you basically get 2 phases, so then you end up with a 6v6, and you fight 2v2, and the whole match is max 30 turns. And then like you have like timed turn. Thing is that like if you're just trying to milk out the time, like the first time you go overtime, like it cuts your time in half. But in case of timeout, it's winners are decided by number of remaining Temtem, then highest sum of HP percentage, then highest sum of stamina percentage, and then whose turn would have been next. And so like if you had like a triple tie, if you had the next move, then like technically you would have won. Which is, oh my god. Like this just seems like everything that I needed like Pokemon to be for like the past couple of years. It is still pretty tough, honestly, but like this kind of QOL stuff like is exactly the kind of stuff that I wanted from like Pokemon Endgame. And if I have to like fight a bit more to get through it, then like so be it. Temtem Brax.
Is there like a fair amount of single player content, or is it based around PvP mostly?
No. It's mostly single player content. I'm like 60 hours in, and I haven't even like really messed with competitive that much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like, it's very much like the standard, like, Pokemon Legend at first. Like, you know, like, there's a professor, they offer you 3 Tems, you get to pick one, and then you go off on your adventure. There's a rival, he hates you, or whatever. Your rival joins Team Rocket, and eventually, like, you know, actually, currently in the story, it seems like he was thrown off an airship by the leader of Team Rocket.
Oh.
So he might be dead? I don't know.
I mean, that's a little extreme.
Tegan, you want to talk about extreme? During that section, I was a participant of a resistance in guerrilla warfare versus Team Rocket, who's trying to overthrow a country. And then when my rival realized, hey, maybe we shouldn't participate in, like, overthrowing countries, the boss says, you know what, fuck you, kid, you were weak anyways, and he throws him off the airship. And I gotta fight that guy. It was fucking 87 Tems. It's fucking insane. The writing is also really good. It's very grown up. The characters, like, real emotions. You also, like, have dialogue options, so there's, like, a really, like, cool tit-for-tat type of thing that you don't really get in Pokemon, but you definitely get in, like, modern RPGs. Mm-hmm. The movement options are cool. I have a surfboard. I have a grappling hook that I can use. I have, like, this neat climbing gear. I did have skates that allow me to skate over Crystal, but I lost those. But, like, now that I'm in, like, the latest section, I'm on my way to getting them back.
Huh. Okay.
The typings are interesting. Like, you basically... I mean, they're not exactly the same, but the translation is that, like, your starters are, like, fighting Psychic and Steel, and their final evolutions are, like, fighting Rock, or fighting Earth. So, like, fighting Ground, I guess. Fighting Earth, Psychic Water, and Crystal Poison is what I'm looking at. It seems really fucking cool. I'm having a great time with it. Even though where I'm at, like, I'm actually 60 hours in, and I've been, like, having a great time with the experience, I really feel like I'm still only scratching at the surface of what this is actually going to be. They just recently released a lair raid dungeon thing, which is kind of like what Sword and Shield has done to, like, populate the game with the legendaries. Like, you go through, like, this cave with, like, whatever Pokemon, whatever items that you can pick up, and you fight your way through it, and then you can fight a legendary. In this case, like, you fight your way through it with, like, randoms, and at the end of it, you fight the mythical Temtem, and at the end of it, you get a mythical egg, and you can repeat it, like, infinitely to get, like, rewards, but you only get, like, one egg per week so far. And they just recently opened a second mythical lair 2 weeks ago, and, like, I'm not there yet. But, you know, I'll report back. Game is sick. Check it out if you're interested in a more thorough, intense Pokemon experience.
Okay, will do.
Also, there was an article by, oh no, I'm already spacing on his name. Michael Cook. I remember his Twitter handle because that's where I saw him, at MTRC, who has been interested in starting conversation about how game AI is being used by, militaristic, imperialistic, and, like, capitalistic interests, and what we can do to, like, reduce the harm by those, like, affiliations. Publish, a very, like, short overview paper. I mean, it's, like, 9 pages, but it's the way that, like, you read academic writing, it's not really, like, you read every single word, which is a thing that I had to learn the hard way a long time ago. Like, I used to, like, read through, like, every single sentence, and I'm just like, yeah, I already know this. Am I stupid? Like, why am I reading all this? Like, it's designed for you to, like, skim through and, like, get to, like, the larger parts. It talks about, like, how game AI has, like, developed, and the people that, like, have particular interests in it, like, game AI researchers, developers, consumers, the general public, and the types of forces that are pulling on it, like, people, like, who are DARPA or, like, DARPA affiliated, who fund this type of research, which is important for, academia, because, in addition to paying their bills and making sure they have food, it also allows them to, like, perpetuate, like, visas if they're, like, studying, like, outside of their home country. It's definitely concerning. I think there is a lot that military research can, like, control over game AI, and, like, how game AI is basically used to, like, essentially create the world of war games, and that's something that we probably need to, keep an eye on. And it's not, it's not doctrine or anything. Like, he's not saying, like, this is the only way that we can solve this problem, because I guess that would be easy. It's really focused on, like, hey, these are a couple of things that we can do to improve transparency, to understand where this money is going, and identify these projects and whether they serve, like, the public good or, like, the general welfare. I linked it in the show doc, or at least, the preprint. Like, not the actual, like, journal so far. I may actually undergo some edits before then. But, check it out if you're interested. If you're worried about, like, game AI, or maybe you're not, maybe, pay attention a little bit. Because these things are going to happen whether we're looking or not.
Video games are a mistake.
Fuck off, Brian.
Brian, that's not true, because if video games were a mistake, then we wouldn't have this podcast.
We wouldn't even be friends, Brian. Imagine that shit.
Video games were not a mistake. Capitalism was a mistake.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there we go. Answered.
Oh, man.
The real villain was capitalism all along.
Oh, God.
Mark Zuckerberg walks out on stage.
Mark Zuckerberg has entered the chat.
Tegan, did Mark Zuckerberg show up at the Horizon Zero Dawn event?
God, no. Thank fuck. I didn't even show up at the Horizon Zero Dawn event, technically. I watched it afterwards.
Oh, my God. All right, Teeks.
Hey, be nice. I've been sick.
All right.
I'll cough really loudly into this microphone. You'll have to cut it out, and it'll be miserable. It'll take you 2 seconds, but you'll hate it.
Okay, so, like, this show's Redhead is our premier member of the Redhead Enthusiast Fan Club.
I am! She's the only redhead I like.
So, Redhead, please tell us about the Redhead video game.
Redhead video game. Good. Pretty. They put her in green this time! Thank God! Oh.
I feel that.
Do you? In your soul. Oh, it looks so good. It looks so fun! So there's a bunch of people online who are bitching because, like, her model has changed a bit since we last saw her, but, like, I think she looks great still,
Mm-hmm.
What is the complaining of? What is driving the complaints?
So it seems like overall her face shape has changed a little bit. It looks like she's been aged a little bit.
Yeah. Story's progressed.
The story has only progressed 6 months. Progressed 6 months. Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. And it appears that she's aged like a couple years. Part of that is definitely because they can render more shit with the PlayStation 5 graphics. That's just a thing. But also, if you were fighting literally hell in the form of machines for a year and a half or however many seasons you went through that fucking game, like, you would age too, dumb shits. Like, beauty in females isn't eternal. Get over yourselves. Anyway, there's that. I don't care. I think she looks fine.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't bother me at all, you know? The movements still look really fluid. She gets a glider now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a la every game that's coming out since Breath of the Wild. The glider looks very cool. It definitely looks like a piece of machinery that has been repurposed from the, like, crab things. Oh, God, I forget what they were called. It doesn't matter. The, like, crab things. Because it's, like, an electro power shield thing. And she just, like, holds it above her head and it, like, pops up. And I think that's really cool. They've added so many new machines, and they showed off a bunch of them in the trailer. There are birds that look... Birds. There are flying machines that look... They're seagulls. Those are actual birds. But there are, like, these new flying machines. The ones that were in the original Horizon game were definitely based off more like corvids, so, like, crows and ravens. Like, that was kind of what they were styled after. The new ones look like pterodactyls, and their whole wingspan is solar panels. Oh my god, that's so cool. There are giant elephants now, and they call them, oh god, it was so fucking cool. The thing is so cool. Instead of riding, like, the horse machines, the striders around, instead you're gonna be riding these, like, iguana, chameleon, lizard things that are, like, part velociraptor sort of thing, and, like, oh, I'm so excited. They have, like, neck frills and shit. The entire time I was looking at this, I'm sitting here going, because of the, did I ever talk about, like, the plot of the first game on here?
Yes.
Okay. So, like, all of the machines were originally built by Gaia. Spoiler alert, and also, like, recap. All the machines were originally designed and built by AI, by Gaia, to re-terraform the Earth after the war machine of, like, the United States and everything else made all this super advanced AI to fight their battles for them so they didn't have to send human soldiers out to war anymore to die, because, like, you can replace machines, but you can't replace people, eventually.
Oh, fuck, that might be us. Oh, no. Please read this paper, guys.
We're fucking getting there, my dude. But anyway, so, like, when you get to, like, the main base, you can see some of the schematics of the machines that you've been fighting, and you find out what they were originally for. So, machines that were called grazers that look kind of like antelopes, they were originally designed to re-till soil and plant seeds. Which is why they're always, like, sticking their head in the dirt. Like, it looks like they're just eating the organic material, which is, like, how the machines can make fuel. They make their own fuel from organic material. But what they're actually doing is tilling the earth up and depositing seeds so that plants that are native to Earth regrow. That's just the thing they're doing. And they're putting, like, more nutrients in the soil if the soil isn't nutrient-rich enough for the plants that have been planted in the area. Really cool shit. And so I'm watching this thing going, okay, so these iguana things, they look like they have chainsaws for their bottom jaw. Like, 2 long chainsaws make up their bottom jaw. Does that mean that these machines were originally used to log trees? Like, to knock over old trees and chop them up? Is that what they did? Were these elephants designed to, like, tear down old buildings and big trees that need to fall over so that these other machines could come in and grind them up? Is that, like, the thing that they're doing? Oh god, I love it. It's so fun. She's got a helmet now that lets her breathe underwater, and it's definitely something that's been repurposed from, like, some of the new machines that they showed in the game. And they're so cool. It's so cool. I love it so much. They did such a good job designing this game. I'm so excited.
The elephant things are called tremor tusks.
Tremor tusks! Yes!
Yeah, that's a cool ass name.
Oh, sorry, I choked. I got excited.
No, that's so good. I
Oh,
love
they're
that.
so,
That's a very
it's
good
so good. Like, they did such a good job renaming all of these things. Oh, it's great. Because, like, if you didn't know what an elephant looked like, Tremor Tusk is the perfect name to describe the bitch. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, it's good. Anyway, they showed, like, a little bit of gameplay. You're rescuing one of your friends from the original game from an enemy faction of humans that have somehow gained the ability to control the machines. And, like, this is all happening in the foreground, but, like, in the background, you still know that the Hades computer program is out there and has been known to manipulate humans before. So, like, is that part of the thing? Like, they're running around, like, what is very obviously San Francisco, partly because they say it, and partly because the fucking Golden Gate Bridge is right goddamn there. And, like, you can swim as long as you want underwater because of this helmet thing. That means there's new water combat for the snap mobs, which are these giant, like, crocodile alligator things.
Oh, shit. Oh,
yeah!
fuck.
There's a hook shot thing now that you can use to, like, climb up and, like, so you can do, like, aerial combat where you, like, launch it and, like, do, like, a swing by and smack shit with your spear. There's some new, like, charge attacks you can do that require, like, machine parts and also, like, that you've landed enough hits total for you to do this, like, ultimate hit sort of thing. And apparently there's, like, different ones for your spear and, like, your bow and stuff. They introduced new bombs, some of them that, like, gunk up machines so that you can, like, lock them in place for a minute while you, like, get a precision shot off and stuff. Oh my god, I'm so excited.
So
I
like,
cannot wait.
Fucking okay. So like Alloy also was like prominently featured in like Monster Hunter World, and it's because like her gameplay is very much like the bow gameplay in actual like Monster Hunter World.
Mm-hmm.
But there's another thing, a soft spot in Monster Hunter 3. The big gimmick was like underwater combat, and it was, you know, widely regarded as a bad idea. They never did it again, but I thought it was dope. It was very, like, challenging and spooky and cool.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, if PS5 Horizon Zero Dawn 2 ends up doing underwater Monster Hunter, like, bow combat right, I might lose my shit.
Oh, God. I'm excited. I'm so excited for this game. I was excited when they first announced it, and, like, watching the trailer, I'm just more excited now.
Gang.
It's going to be very interesting. I think if Breath of the Wild 2 does not come out this year, and this game does come out this year, we're going to be looking already at our major Game of the Year title.
I'm interested.
I'm that confident. It looks that good.
I always get enthused and excited whenever there is a video game thing that makes Tegan break into her, like, rarely heard, super excited, like, Miss Piggy trombone voice. And
What the fuck does that mean, Brian? What
okay,
was that?
like, when you said, no, it's not bad at all, but, like, when you said Tremor Tusks, like, there's a thing that you're like, ah, Tremor Tusks! Just,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
where all of the wheels come off of your voice at once, and it's just like,
Oh, yeah.
there are a few different video game franchises that get us the Miss Piggy trombone voice. Horizon does, Zelda does, Nier does. Like, when you get fed new things for these franchises, we get the Miss Piggy trombone. So I'm just happy because, like, this produced the effect that I was hoping for from this presentation. Like, if you had showed up and you were like, yeah, it looks good, then I'm like, uh-oh. You know, but like...
Yeah, no, it looks good. Oh my god, the outfit that they showed her off in is very tropical. It's all like these green, like, leaf overlay sort of things, and it makes her blend in so much better to the surroundings. It makes her blend in more like how the Banuk armor does in the Frozen Wilds DLC or package, depending on how you got the game. Like, the Banuk armor is blue, and you blend into, like, the blue ice that's around very nicely. And this is, like, at one point she, like, walked, like, through a palm, like, a big palm frond, and, like, I lost her for a second. Except for her hair. Like, I lost her completely. And I was like, this is so good!
So, after you mentioned, like, this discourse around, like, how Aloy looks in this game, I did a thing I should never do. I went to the internet.
Yeah, you looked her up. She doesn't look that bad.
No, I specifically looked up the discourse around it. And it appears to be that the problem that Reddit has, and this is why I want to throw Reddit into the sun, is that there were lots of Reddit bros being like, you know what, Aloy doesn't make me horny anymore.
Well, yeah.
That's the problem.
You had to look that up? Like,
yeah, I mean, isn't it assumed that was the complaint from whatever incels online were gonna,
Yeah, right.
It's like, yeah, I can't jerk off to Aloy anymore. This is bullshit. Like, obviously, that's what they were gonna say.
Please excuse me for having a shred of hope that there was something else.
Okay, like, to be fair, like, looking at her, like, regular design, I don't know, maybe this is just me, but she's not, like, hypersexualized at all.
No.
In any of her armor. Like, her entire design and her armor designs are, for the most part, like, practical armor designs. And her like, overall design is practical. And, like, it's not designed for the male gaze, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, good. All these men don't realize that she could stab you 5 ways from Sunday in, like, 2 seconds. And now they can't be, like, turned on while she does it. Fuck off. You got Lady Demetress this year. Fuck off. Fuck the monster.
Tegan, they're not happy unless they're jerking it constantly.
They gotta stop. You need get a new hobby.
Get a
new fuck off.
hobby. That's great.
Let me enjoy my not annoying ginger character, like, without having to worry about your boner in my face. Fuck. I love her so much. I hate this game. I love it so much.
Can Sony get a boner?
Probably, yeah.
Sony may be allowed to get a boner, but it's not a sexy boner. I mean, there aren't any sexy boners. I mean, like, it's not a boner because of sexiness. It's a boner because, like, we're doing something good and people like it. And, like, that's the kind of boner they get.
Is the boner made out of Jim Ryan?
I don't know who Jim Ryan is.
Your life is better for all of that.
It's Kaz Harad.
Does the boner say Ridge Racer?
Yeah, it just says Ridge Racer.
Oh my god. Tegan, you've been playing Miitopia?
I have been playing Miitopia. Oh my god, Miitopia is so much fun. If you are not getting Miitopia, I want you to know right now, and I mean this with my entire heart, you're wrong. And I'm sorry you're so angry with life.
Jesus fucking Christ, Tegan.
So Tegan, would you describe it as the best video game ever made?
No, I wouldn't describe it as the best video game ever made, but it is the funniest video game I've played in a long time.
Okay.
Brian, I want you to know, in my video game, Miitopia, you are the great sage, and you give me bad advice all the time.
That checks out.
You're like, I came out here, and I lost a lamp in the desert. If you find it, don't touch it. And I'm like, okay, I guess. And then, like, I find you later, and I'm like, oh, hey, I found your lamp. And you're like, did you touch it? And I'm just like, well, I'm holding it. So, and you're just like, oh, all right. Well, do you know how to seal the genie again? And I'm like, no. And you're like, oh, it's really easy. Just say his name and rub the lamp. Okay, that's easy. Thanks, Brian. And then you, like, left. It was good. Rocky, you were on my team. You were a chef. You have been kidnapped.
Yeah, that sounds fair.
But you were kidnapped in the muscle chef uniform. So you are not wearing a shirt.
Okay.
And I'm sorry. You're wearing a chef's hat and the apron and, like, some little balloon pants and a tie.
And a tie, huh?
Yeah, and a tie.
Oh my god.
It's
all right.
great.
You're keeping it classy.
Yeah. Alex was on my original team. You make your 4 team members, and I thought I was making Brian for, like, my new team. And then they were like, nope. He's just a great sage now. And I'm like, oh, okay. Bye, Brian. So Brian gets to wander around in the story while Rocky is just being kidnapped. So Alex is also kidnapped with you. And my cosplay friend Haley is also kidnapped with you. And now I'm running around the second area with the B team, which is still me, but I'm no longer a mage. I'm now a cat.
Okay.
And I mean, I'm running around in a fursuit with paws that I attack with. Oh god, it's so dumb. My streamer friend, Miss Jackie, she's a thief. I should have made her the cat. I didn't know. I'm sorry. And my work friend, Bianca, who is a scientist right now. Once you finish, like, the first area, it opens up, like, a second area, and you get to pick more people to be on a team, and then there's more characters you get to add, and, like, you can either download Miis that your friends have made and put them in the story, or you can look for Miis that are popular on, like, the Mii internet among, like, other people who are playing Miitopia, and you can pick one of those. So a lot of people, like, made Ganondorf or Bowser or Pennywise or whatever in the little Mii designer, and you can, like, download them to use as characters.
Okay.
There's some that are, like, really well designed, and they're really fucking creepy.
Is it like that old Mii channel where you could, like, scroll through and get all the, like... You could get, like, a Luigi and, like, a Mr. T.
Yeah, but they're all fan designs. None of them are... Yeah, so there's, like, a bunch of people made Wario, and so there's a couple different Warios you can pick. There's a couple different Waluigis you can pick. And, like, once you have the Mii downloaded, you can adjust it. Miis who are, like, on your team that you interact with all the time, you can give them wigs to give them, like, different hairstyles and stuff, and you can change, like, their preferred colors so that, like, the accents on their costumes are different and that sort of thing. Every time you get a new costume, it also gives you, like, a bar of, like, 6 different colors that you can pick from, and it'll change, like, part of the costume to be a different color. Some of the costumes are great. Some of them are terrible. Everybody has a muscle costume. There's, like, a muscle pop star costume, and a muscle chef costume, and a muscle warrior costume, and a muscle mage costume. They're awful. They're so ugly. They give your Miis all these weird, like, muscly lines. They have, like, a fucking 24-pack of abs on them.
Oh, shit.
It's so weird. So you got kidnapped in that. Alex is wearing camo armor, which is just regular armor, but it's got, like, a light green camo pattern on it.
Okay.
Like, I don't know why. My friend Haley was in... What was she in? She's in a pop star outfit that looks like a magical girl costume right now. But I don't have access to you guys anymore, and I had to start at level 1 again, but it let me keep my stats. So I was a level 1 character with, like, 30 hit points, where everyone else had, like, 6.
Okay, it was like New Game Plus, sorta?
Yeah, like New Game Plus, but it's not even New Game Plus.
For sure.
The dialogue is really goofy. Your Miis, like, grow closer to each other the more they, like, hang out. They can, like, they develop friendships, like, in battle by doing stuff. You get, like, little team attacks, and, like, you can warn other characters of incoming, like, damage, and if they dodge, like, your friendship goes up.
Dope.
When you heal other characters, like, the chef has an ability where they feed your characters, and if your character is fed by the chef, then, like, their relationship with the chef goes up, and that kind of stuff.
As they should.
I have a horse. I have a horse, and I got to design my horse, and I could have made it like a bicorn or whatever, and I just made it look like Epina because I'm lame. But you get to, when you hang out with the horse, you can get, like, team attacks with the horse. And, like, the horse will do things like, there's a safe spot where you can, like, a character is, like, immune from damage while they, like, sort their shit out if they get, like, overwhelmed in battle. And the horse will do a thing if they're good enough friends with the character where they snuggle up and, like, make them recover faster. It's so funny. The horse is OP. Fucking goddamn.
You gotta make it like one of the MLP ponies.
I thought about it, and then I was like, no, I'm gonna make it Epina. But, like, next time, I'm probably gonna play this one again so I can put more people in weirder spots. There's a king, and the king looks like a turkey, and then just has, like, your Mii friend face on top, and I'm just like, he's so big. He's shaped literally like a turkey. Tiny little legs sticking out with little shoes. Oh my god.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any character that you make knowing that the character is going to be, like, an enemy or a villain?
Yes, there are 2 so far. And for those, I chose from the Mii community, and I chose pre-established Nintendo villains. There's the main villain, who is, so far, there's the main villain who's the one that's stealing everybody's faces, and then there is the genie of the lamp is a...
Okay. So Ducat Sequoia did not get made.
I don't know what Ducat Sequoia looks like, so no, Ducat Sequoia did not get made. Ducat Sequoia breaks into your house, dude. That's not my problem. But yeah, it's a good game. It's so funny. I played it a bunch while I was sick. I haven't played it since I've started feeling better because I'm trying to, like, do things. And also, like, when I was going, like, the couple days I went into work, I'd, like, go into work and then I'd get off and I'd be like, okay, now that is all I could do today. I'm going to bed at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Just 'cause,
When you say go into work, do you mean go to an office?
No, I mean walk into the other room in my house where my work computer is.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
No, we're not back in the office. Our department has no plans on going back in the office. We'll probably be fully remote for at least another year. Part because they asked us if we wanted to come back and we said no.
Yeah, right.
So, there's that. But yeah, Miitopia, very good. Highly recommend. Gonna talk about it on Game of the Year. Please pick it up. Brian Rocky, this is your warning.
All right. Jesus.
It's
I
so
like
funny!
how you're not even fucking trying with me. You're like, whatever, I know you want to.
What? You're gonna pick up Miitopia? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you should pick up Miitopia, Brian.
Brian's gonna act like he's not gonna pick up Miitopia.
Brian, make us a party. Put us in a party together and see our antics. It's so funny.
It's on Switch?
It's on Switch.
Yes.
It's a Switch game.
Yo, what if when the new Nintendo Switch Pro Plus Diamond DX Edition comes out, they re-release an expansion to Miitopia, which is Tomodachi Life?
You know what? Part of the reason I made sure to pick up Miitopia is because I want Tomodachi Life to come to Switch.
For sure.
Like, it'd be so funny. Miitopia is so fucking funny. By the way, the other thing I did was I played Genshin Impact. I missed the entirety of, like, Eula's event. I got to play the Windrise event, which was, like, Genshin's version of Prop Hunt, exactly 2 times, and then I got sick and missed the whole rest of it, and I was really upset about it. And I'm like, well, I hope they bring it back, because it was really fun the 2 times I got to play. But they did the 1.6 live stream this past week. Probably by the time this episode is out, I think the 1.6 expansion will be released. But they've added essentially like a whole boat section, like Wind Waker, like into the game. And when I say like Wind Waker, I mean like you ride a boat and you do like little races and you can like bomb stuff, enemy stuff, with a little cannon in your little boat. And like they're adding Beidou to the Archon quest line, because she's the one who's going to be taking you to Inazuma, which is the next, like, major country. They're officially introducing their first playable character from Inazuma. His name is Kazuha. He is an animo-using sword user, and he looks neat. He's got, like, a jump, like, downward slash, like an air. He launches, like, himself and enemies into the air, and then brings his sword down on them from the air. Some other stuff. He's been exiled from Inazuma. Well, he's not exiled. He's on the run. And somehow he's going to help you get into Inazuma so that you can start the next leg of the story. But yeah, it looks cool. They're going to do their first sets of skins in-game for established characters. Obviously, everybody's favorite idol, Barbara, is getting a skin. It's a cute little, like, swimsuit summer skin. And that's going to be available in-game as like a game reward for some of the new stuff. And they've also given a summer skin to her older sister, Jean, the Dandelion Knight. The skin for Jean, though, does cost, like, real-world money.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you have to put in for the Genesis crystals, which is what they give you when you buy Primo Gems, because of reasons. You turn the Genesis crystals into Primo Gems. But you also get Genesis crystals if you're doing the Welkin Moon Game Pass, which is like $10. And you every day for 30 days you get 90 Primo Gems and then a set amount of Genesis crystals. So you can get more than the amount that way, but it's going to cost about 20 real-life dollars to get Jean. And they're discounting her for her original release But it is, they're not discounting her that much. They're discounting her by like $2. So like, it's not really worth it. But Barbara is available for free in-game as long as you participate in the event. So, woo! She looks cute. I'm excited. I'm excited for it because I want Kazuha. I have almost enough. I'm almost at pity from pulling on Yenfei's banner still. So, I should be good. I should be able to get him without, like, spending any money. Also, for now, a lot of the materials that you need to ascend Kazuha are only available in the Summer Isles, and the Summer Isles apparently are going to be leaving after the event. But his level up materials will be available in Inazuma. So just until we can get to Inazuma, you're going to be stuck if you get Kazuha and don't get his level up materials.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
According to leaks, he uses, what are they called? Treasure Hoarder insignias and some special flowers that are like a gather material.
Okay.
So, like, the Treasure Hoarder insignias, those aren't going to be a big problem. Nah. It's going to be the Dominion boss and who I think is going to stick around. They weren't really clear on that. But the flowers are going to be the bigger issue. Yeah.
Well, that reminds me. The new 5-star, like, ice lady, like...
Eula,
yeah. She's, like, pretty and all, but, like, should I try to pull for her? Or is Chongyun, like, still fine?
I think Chongyun is still fine. She does have a lot of abilities that are, like, similar to that.
Right.
But she moves much lighter than Chongyun does.
Okay.
So Chongyun, like, you know how when you swing his sword, like, it feels like it swings heavy and it's a little bit slow? Hers is much faster. She's whipping that thing around like it's nobody's business.
That's wacky. Okay.
Yeah, it is. It is wacky. And she's, like, jumping in the air and stuff while she's doing it. Because she's dancing while she fights.
Okay.
So it's very neat. I would recommend doing her trial and see if you like it.
All right. I'll make some time for it this week.
I mean, you'll get your 20 Primo Gems from that, too. So.
True.
And then, you know, during the Genshin 1.6 live stream, they released 3 sets of free Primo Gem codes. And I did, at the time of the stream, I did post those on our Tumblr. So if you missed them, they were there. But the codes were only good until the 28th. So if you missed them, you missed them.
True.
But next time there's a Genshin Live event, I'll post them there again as soon as the live's over, so maybe you should follow me on Tumblr at Impossible Coin. But yeah, and that's what I did. And then I was sick, and it was great. Stupid baby cold. Stupid baby.
The baby gave you a cold? Oh no.
The baby brought home a cold from daycare. Not my baby! Let's be clear, not my baby, my sister's baby. Brought home a cold from daycare, and I went over to see my parents. You know, the whole family's been vaccinated, just not baby, because baby's only 2. And while I was there, no one thought to tell me that baby had been sick earlier in the week. So I just hung out, and then, like, 2 days later, I was like, I feel like garbage. And they were like, oh, yeah, he was sick earlier. And I was like, oh, thanks, now I'm sick. Great.
The good old daycare cold, yeah.
I have a hair-splitting semantics question.
Yeah.
When do kids stop being babies and become toddlers?
Technically, he is a toddler because he is independently mobile. However, because he is not particularly vocal, I am not ready to classify him legally as a toddler.
I thought toddlers, like, become toddlers post, like, 2 years.
Yeah, I think that's typically around then, right?
Yeah, it's right around their 2 years. It's when they're able to basically be independently mobile. They have to be able to run around without their parents necessarily, like, holding their hands. They generally, like, start to run around, like, baby run, but, you know, run.
Toddler,
around the time that they start...
Yeah, waddling.
That you're able to classify them as a toddler. But usually that's also accompanied by, like, increased speech. And because of just everything that's been going on with his home life, like, he's not really talking yet. He's babbling in cadence, but he's not talking. So...
Okay. So where in someone's development do they need to be to complain on Reddit about Aloy not making them horny?
They need to be 3 years old.
Okay.
But really, like, it should be around whenever your, like, quote-unquote sexual awakening is, which is anywhere between, like, 11 and 15, typically.
If the first thing you do upon your sexual awakening is go to the internet to complain about something not making you horny, please work on developing a better horny.
If the first... No, that kind of invalidates asexual and aromantic people. I don't think that's fair.
No,
that's not
I'm
what
saying
he's
that the
saying.
first
That's
thing...
not
No,
what-
I don't
that's
think
not
that
what
does
he's
at all.
saying, no.
That's horse shit, and I reject that.
If you're complaining about it, but you don't understand why you're complaining about it, like, maybe. That might be, you know?
No, if you're saying, like, Aloy doesn't make me horny, I want Aloy to make me horny, I think that's pretty specifically a bad thing. If you look at some piece of art, if you look at some piece of media, and you're like, I demand that this media produce this effect in me, that makes you garbage.
That's a lot of expectation for a piece of media. If you have already experienced horniness, and you are complaining at that point that the media doesn't make you horny, I'd say you have a fair criticism. But if that's your first experience of media potentially making you horny and missing, I think that your complaint is invalid.
Okay, so, like, I get that, like, this product used to do this thing and now it doesn't do that anymore. Is generally a fair criticism, but I feel like in this particular instance, it's not great. Because it's like, it's the same thing with, like, Mortal Kombat. Like, Katana used to make people horny, and since her redesign, she doesn't do that anymore. And people...
It's Melina. Melina's the one that they're lining up and, like, got their little picket signs for.
As far as I'm concerned, every, like, female character in Mortal Kombat has, like, their fandom that's angry about shit. But I guess what I'm saying is, like, yeah, like, I've been playing this game for 20 years, and I had a reliable boner from Mortal Kombat since 1993! And it's just like, okay, dude, I mean, I guess... But, like, they're not doing that.
Maybe your taste in video games has just changed. Like, maybe look at a different girl.
But Tegan, they're like, no, she used to have bigger tits, I swear to God, and now she doesn't!
Just Google Melina, whatever, horny cosplay Melina, and you're good.
Yeah,
Use
no, I
yourself
agree.
a
No.
doujinshi. Fuck off.
I completely agree that these people are lame, but, like, I guess, like, they're looking at this product, at this thing that it used to do for them, whether or not it was explicitly what was being, like, marketed is different, I guess, but it's, like, it's definitely lame. I'm not sure if I'm gonna call them garbage. I feel like those people are redeemable, but they do suck. Like, they are currently fucking up.
Dear people making Space Jam 2, this rabbit doesn't get me going anymore.
Well, the true test will be if Bugs Bunny gets erect again when he sees Lola Bunny.
Oh shit, that's right, they did
Like
do
he did in
that.
Space Jam. He got erect in Space Jam. It happened. We all saw it.
As far as I'm concerned, the furry community is not mad about Lola Bunny, so I have to defer to them. That seems like the reasonable take here.
Yeah, I think they would understand better than anyone else.
Yeah, that's true.
Y'all want to talk? First of all, alright, fuck. There was a thing here in my topics that I did not put here. It was placed here by Mr. Rocky Hardy.
It's true, yeah.
I think he wants to talk about me being an old man who's ready to die.
No, okay, this is not... Okay, let the record reflect that I do rag on Brian early and often, but I'm not doing that right now. I shared a TikTok with our chat this week because I was upset because I did not know that my electric stovetop rose like a car hood. If you guys didn't know that.
Now you know. You've joined us.
Yeah, you can just lift the shit and you can clean it. I spent like 3 hours that Thursday cleaning out what was ultimately about 3 to 4 years worth of grime underneath my stovetop. And I'm just like, oh my God, I can't believe I can't keep learning stuff like this. And Brian's like, you didn't know this? Like, next you're going to tell me that the drawer underneath the oven isn't a warming tray. And I'm like, you know what? That makes sense. And like, Brian's about to walk into the sea.
Yeah, and I'm just like, wait, it's a what? I thought it was just to store like, pots and pans.
Yeah, that's where I put my pots and shit. And anyway, so like Brian is clearly just like, hey, it's kind of really wild to me that like a lot of TikTok is just a bunch of shit that like Gen Xers just know and like is treated like forbidden or like arcane knowledge. So we're asking Brian to share some of his forbidden Gen X knowledge with us.
I don't know where to fucking start. Like, I mean, okay, Sach, did you know that the thing in the bottom of the oven is a warming tray?
Yes.
Cool.
Thank Christ.
But I'm right on the edge there of the millennial Gen Z divide. So,
Did you know about the electric stovetop rising like a car hood?
no, I no.
For sure. Let's chill. It's cool, man. This is a safe place.
No, I've never heard that.
Okay. Do you know what the little slot in the back of a medicine cabinet is for?
To hide your weed?
You know what? That's a better answer than I had, which was, I don't have a medicine cabinet in my house. What slot are you talking about?
Go ahead, Brian. Give us the medical cabinet talk.
Okay. That slot is to dispose of razors.
What? Really?
Yeah. You're supposed to pop the razor off at the head of your razor and you stick razors in that slot. Because on the other side of the wall, the contractor who built your home put a catch tray to catch all the fucking razors.
How do you get them out, though?
You don't.
You
They
don't.
just
You
sit
leave them in the
wall?
wall.
Yeah, in fact, if you had a house that was built like before the 80s, they're probably still there.
Oh, no.
Yeah. You probably got a wall full of dirty knives.
Fuck. That seems weird.
Oh, it is weird.
Like, if it fills up, what happens?
Well, like, the idea, like, they're razor blades, right? So they're, like, crazy thin.
Yeah, they're like paper thin, yeah.
They would take, like, thousands for them to, like, actually stack up to the wall or whatever. So, like, they just assumed that would never happen because they built those shits in the 50s and they thought they were invincible.
Right.
People do a lot of shit in the 50s that they think are invincible. Like,
Yeah.
And so, like, I just think it's, like, nuts that there's so much stuff which is, like, treated like this, like, weird arcane knowledge. And I honestly don't even know where to start with it, but it's just so strange to see that, like, half of the content that comes off TikTok that I see is just like, bro, did you know that there's a kind of telephone that you can send paper through? They used to call them fax machines. You know?
alright. I thought you were gonna do, like, there's a phone with, like, a round dial, and you have to, like, select each number individually. It's like, yes, I am aware of that. But
I thought he was
also,
going to do the cord cones.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. But I understand that also, like, a lot of these people who are posting that shit have never interacted with that thing before. I've never had a straight razor. And also, I've never had a medicine cabinet in my home. So, like, there is literally no way I would know those things. So if I opened my wall and there were just razor blades, I would probably go to the internet and be like, yo, what the fuck? Does anybody know what the shit this is? You know.
Right.
You're making your life content, and, like, that's it. So,
and this was the premise, the idea, like, that I guess I had in chat, which is that this knowledge is generational. I think that the example I thought of was, like, I'm just waiting for the TikTok that was like, yo, did you know that you can yell a text message at somebody? Yeah. If you press the numbers on your Twitter machine, so that way it calls your friend.
Oh my god.
And they don't pick up, you could yell a text message at them.
Okay, you can only yell a text message at them if they have their voicemail set up. If you don't have a voicemail set up, you cannot yell a text message. But also, like, phone calls. Like, who needs... You know, I can do almost everything online now. Like, I really can. I don't have to call to schedule a doctor's appointment. I can go into my little MyChart thing and schedule every doctor's appointment I'm gonna fucking need ever. Right there.
This is one of those great cultural divides, generational understanding things, which is where, like, I know that, like, when it comes to capitalism so often that, like, when companies offer me tools for self-managing my account, that what they're actually doing is saying, like, hey, if we can get you to do this, then we can hire less people.
Right.
And then so often what happens is when the systems that they created for me to do their no longer hired employee's job doesn't work right, they're like, hey, here's what we've done. We've created as many systems as possible to make it impossible to get a person to help you. So what we're going to do is we're going to place you in an endless feedback loop of looking at the fact page, so that way you think that this is a problem that you created. That your failure to use, like, the book appointment for your dog to get shampooed is your problem. You can't do it because you're broken. I'm like, no, I'm not broken. Your website's stupid. And then, like, when you finally find the phone number for shampooadoggy.com and you call them up, you need to remember that that person on the phone is not the idiot sitting in some boardroom with a pie chart who made your life hell. They work for that same person. And remember that they talk to 4 people a day who are the ones who could find a phone number for shampooadoggy.com. So be angry, but not at that person. Be like, hey, man, fuck your boss. I need to get my dog shampooed. I'm not saying this has actually happened to me. It might seem like that.
It does sound like that.
Okay. It wasn't actually dog shampooing, but you know, okay, it was Firestone, okay? Fuck those people.
The tire company or the school? Or
Tire company.
Like, okay, cool.
The tire company. God damn those. Oh. But, like, it's weird how it, like, also expresses itself socially outside of the context of capitalism, like, because if you call somebody my age and, like, ring, ring, hello, 40-year-old, they're like, oh, hello, hi, and, like, this is a phone ringing, that's fine. I call somebody who's 30, and they're like, they pick up the phone, like, ah! Like, and they're like, why did you do that? And I'm like, I wanted to talk to you. Like, well, why didn't you text me first? I'm like, text you first? I'm like, this whole idea that, like, I need to send a herald. Like,
Oh,
just,
yeah,
like,
send your herald. It takes like a second. Come on.
like, I shall let loose my falcon. Just, what the fuck?
I do
phone
appreciate
call.
the Herald, though. Here's why I appreciate the Herald. I'm sure this isn't the same for everybody, but I appreciate the Herald because sometimes I am in the middle of doing something else, and if my mom doesn't text me beforehand, that could be like a 45, 50-minute phone call that I do not have time for.
Right.
Because I am actively at work, and my mother is calling me.
Okay. Then apparently I've got my first fucking TikTok. Brian needs to start making fucking TikToks.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey guys, check this out. Here's this hot strat. Did you know that you can not pick up the phone?
Well, like, that's rude, though.
What am I gonna... Brian,
No, like,
has
Brian,
your mother...
like-
Brian.
Nobody checks their voicemail anymore, dude. That's
Like,
not a
Okay,
thing
I
people
do. I do check my voicemail, but
Oh, okay.
do you know how many times my mother will call if I do not pick up the phone?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
If I don't pick up the phone and she knows that I am sitting 2 feet away from my phone, she will call me again and again and again and again until I pick up. So if she doesn't call me and I send her to voicemail, I will automatically send her a text. I am at work. Is this an emergency? Because if it's not an emergency, then I'll say, okay, I will call you at 3 o'clock when I'm out of work. And otherwise, it's not happening. Send me a text so I can talk to you while I'm at work, but I cannot take personal calls while I'm at work. You know? It's never an emergency.
I think that there is... How old is your mom?
Older than you. She's mother age.
Oh, Tegan.
She's like,
God damn it. I'm trying to make a point here.
65-ish.
Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. Point made. Awesome. So I think that there is a difference between the way Gen X and the way boomers react to cell phones.
Yeah, that's
right. So I think that, like, boomers look at cell phones and go like, okay, great. Now everyone has a telephone with them at all times. Mm-hmm. Right. And Gen X says, okay, great. Everyone has a cell phone with them at all times. This must be treated respectfully. Mm. And so, like, there's a insistence that I think that boomers believe comes with that level of access. And that insistence doesn't exist in, like, the way that, like, Gen X treats the technology. Like, I just assume everybody has their fucking phone. But I also assume that if they don't pick up, they got shit to do. It's like, oh, they got shit to do. You know, they're at work, they're on the crapper, whatever, they're talking to somebody else. Like, they're living their life. They'll get back to me when they get back to me. I think there's always, like, this kind of a curve on the way people treat different technological advancements.
Fair. I also think there's a difference between, like, how millennials respond to missed calls and how Gen Z does. And I think it's, like, Gen Z, I feel like a lot of times it's not happening, and that might be because, like, since they're mostly around phones, and here's me probably talking out of my ass, who knows, since they're used to everybody having a phone all the time, like, it doesn't matter, I'll call you back later, sort of thing, or I'll text you back later. And with millennials, it's like, hey, here is the reason I am not responding to your call, because I don't want you to think that I hate you. What is it that you need? Is this something I can address now? Or is it, does that make sense?
Yeah, which I think probably has something to do with, like, if you read a whole bunch of, like, terrible egghead pieces about what emotionally motivates millennials, that makes sense. It sounds like there's more in common with the way Gen X and Z treat phones. Mm-hmm. And I think that probably has to do with the fact that, like, millennials are most often, like, the children of boomers.
Yeah.
That checks out, yeah.
Yeah.
The boomers, man.
Yeah, so.
Took a perfectly good generation. You gave it anxiety.
Right. So I'm just out here saying that, like, we here in Gen X have been empowered to now for nearly 25 fucking years to not answer cell phones, and it feels pretty good.
I just want to make sure that you don't hate me when you know that I didn't answer the phone. Because I know you know that I have my phone with me, and I'm sorry, but, like, I'm doing a thing. I
assume that if you don't answer your phone, Tegan, you got shit to do.
Oh.
I don't.
So let me talk about some video games. I'm going to try and do these in, like, groups that make sense.
You group your video games?
So I think the first group that makes sense would probably be, like, shit that everybody talked about a little bit. And I think that the ones that, like, rise to that definition are Aerial Knights Never Yield and Loop Hero. So, like, Aerial Knights Never Yield is very, very pretty and does a good job of, like, creating, like, a consistent visual language as a runner. Things that I like about it is that it is not an infinite runner. There is an end to Aerial Knights Never Yield. The game is, like, very, like, obviously designed for speedrunning, which makes sense. Also, like, there's, like, accessibility features that come, like, turned on by default when you play the game. Like, there's this, like, slowdown that it does when you're about to, like, hit, like, the press that you need to, like, not, beef it.
Oh, that's nice.
As somebody who played a lot of Cannonbolt, I turned that shit off pretty quickly because it made the game feel slow, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I think that, like, the vibe that the game has is, like, what if there was a Jet Set Radio runner, which is a very good vibe. Also, like, when you do die, when you do beef it, the You've Died screen is probably, like, my favorite You've Died screen in a video game, where it's just, like, it, like, brings up a question mark, which is, like, yield, question mark, and the default selection is never. And I'm like, oh, this whole video game is named after it's what happened when you die screen. Like, that's fantastic. Fun. The music is really good. There's, like, a lot of, like, jazz style to it. I think that, like, if I had a complaint, it is that it feels short. I'm not usually one to, like, offer that complaint in a video game, but I think it's because he was, like, specifically, like, a competitive community, like a streaming community. He wants people out there working on their splits. It needs to be small enough to, like, reasonably service that group. I was like, I wish there was more here. So I love what there is. I think it's very good. You can easily sit down and, like, finish this game in an evening because it's designed to be played as a single session. I hope that he offers, like, additional packs for it. I would buy more packs of Never Yield. Like, it was like, here's another adventure. Hurrah. Loop Hero? Does anybody here fuck with Loop Hero?
Yeah.
No.
I've thought about it. I haven't actually checked it out.
Okay. So was that a yes, Rocky?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm still not sure what to think of this video game.
Okay.
So, like, I'm normally a fan of what I would call, like, well-designed, like, passive video games. Like, I like a good clicker, but this doesn't quite feel like a clicker. Like, the way you're...
It's not really a clicker.
Yeah, it's not a clicker, but it's also, like, not... I guess it's... Is it something new? Like, the way you're, like, arranging the landscape tiles, but, like, you're not, like, directly interacting with the combat at all. the risk versus reward of, like, say, arranging a bunch of mountain tiles together. It has a vibe.
It's almost an idle game, but the thing is that you are actively, like, shaping the environment rather than responding to it.
Right.
So you're not actually player versus environment or player versus player. I think it might actually be something new because you're designing the environment for, like, the idle game to play around.
Yeah, like, it definitely feels like, as far as, like, the combat and the RPG mechanics, like, it feels like an idle game. But, like, the way you're dealing with, like, topography feels like SimCity or something.
Yeah, it's a much more, like, active, like, management experience.
Right. It took me a while to, like, have enough shit going on in a loop where I was like, I just need to fucking pause. Because, like, at the beginning of the experience, like, it's very easy to, like, not break at all and just be able to, like, you know...
Yeah, it's a slow build from the beginning.
Right. But then once you have, like, enough stuff going on your loop that you're just like, oh, Jesus, I absolutely need to hit the pause button so that way I can deal with these tiles. Then it starts to get... Like, I need to spend more time with it. It felt weird in that I wasn't able to, like, immediately get a bead on how it made me feel.
Okay.
Which was a strange feeling.
I think Loop Hero is cool. I think the way that it handles its own lore is pretty neat. Like, the idea that, like, they use vampires closer to, like, their classical definition as, like, the genteel.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, literally, like, insert them as, like, lords. Like, they're supposed to be, like, stewards of the land or whatever, and that's kind of cool. You know, Spooky Sands is still fucking nuts. I think, like, the way that, like, armor and, like, weaponry, well, like, just equipment is, like, ultimately scales upward, but gives you, like, a handful of choices about what you want to do. Like, if you want to focus on attack speed, if you want to try to build, like, life steal, if you just want to be super tanky. And you are able to make those choices as, like, your loops continue. And I do like how, like, when you start arranging tiles in certain ways, they start consolidating into, like, larger, like, land masses.
Yeah.
I think it's really neat. I do want to spend a bit more time with the base building, but I haven't touched it in a long time. But it's cool. It's definitely interesting, and I do believe that it's something new.
Yeah. It is a good curl-up-in-bed game.
Yeah.
I think that, like, the next group will be the RDAF games. Have a thought.
I don't know what that means.
These are the games that, like, when they try and sell themselves to you, there's, like, pictures of, like, palm fronds, and then there's, like, you're, like, winner of the Denver International Independent Game Festival. Things like that, or, like...
Oh, do you mean, like, arty? Like, as in, like, art-like?
Yeah, arty. Artsy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Artsy,
yeah, so I thought you, like, made a new acronym. That's why I didn't understand what you were saying.
Oh, okay. All right. So the first one of these is a game called The Longest Road on Earth. I'm pretty sure I don't like this video game.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure yet that I don't like this video game.
How are you not sure?
Because I don't know if, like, the sensations of, like, disappointment and anger that I'm experiencing are because I'm engaging with the story or because the game is pretentious garbage.
What's the difference?
Well, like, if the game wants me to feel angry, like, if the game is like, okay, look, like, we want you to experience anger as a byproduct of the narrative, or, like, we want you to experience anger as a byproduct of the mechanics, like a game can, like, seek to elicit that as an emotion from you, or it can accidentally blunder into it because it sucks ass.
Sure, but I guess what I'm saying is that, like, getting over it is a good example.
Right.
The game itself is an exercise in frustration. That's what it's for.
Right.
Whether you can identify that that is, like, a poignant statement, or even if it's successful in its aim, you can still dislike the video game.
And that's fine. But if I look at, say, Getting Over It, I can look at Getting Over It and say, like, Getting Over It set out to do what it intended to do.
Sure.
Whether or not it's, you know, my brand of vodka is a different story.
Right.
But, like, I could say, like, look at, like, Getting Over It or look at Dark Souls and say, like, these are video games that accomplished their objectives.
Right. And so I guess what I'm saying here is that, and correct me if I'm overstepping, I feel like what you're telling us is that you're not sure if the game is doing what it's claiming to do, but you don't like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, so this game It's pixel art, but it's entirely rendered in like shades of black, white, and gray.
Sure.
It has like a 16-bit fidelity to it, but it like eschews like chiptune music in favor of like the most SoundCloud indie rock fucking bullshit you've ever heard.
Okay.
Like hey, hey, I'm so sad, hey, sad, bubble, sad.
Oh, so that's how it won the Denver International Indie Game Award, right? That's the...
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. The big winner in Denver. And so, like, in this game, it's the fucking Dust Bowl, right? It's the Depression. But all the people in the Depression are animals, and you are various depressed mice. And there was this, like, part where I was a depressed lady mouse, and I was at the seashore, and I don't even know why. It offered no explanation, because the game has no dialogue. And it's just like, and I'm just like walking along, and I'm just like walking along, and I'm like, okay, video game, what happens now? And they're like, and then it's like, okay, and it's like, do this, and they're like, and I pick up a seashell, and it like cuts to a close up of the seashell, and it's like, and I keep walking, and it's like, ooh, and it's like, please pick up another seashell, and then like, and I'm like, okay. And then I get to, like, the actual edge of the scene. It's like, blah, blah, and I'm like, fuck off.
Yeah.
It just,
Brad, I think it's safe to say that you don't like this game. And that's fine.
I don't think you
don't like
it.
this
Yeah,
game.
okay. You know what?
I think we figured out the answer. You don't like it.
Okay,
It's
cool.
video game, holy shit.
Like, there was a point in the game where, like, I'm the depressed lady mouse, and I'm just sitting on the porch smoking, and it keeps on making me hit a button to make her pull the cigarette to her mouth. And it's like, they're like, no, this can't be a cutscene. You actually need to manually smoke. And
That's how you feel like you're there. Like you're really the depressed lady.
this is how I
You know what? I've got my own brand of 2020, 2021 depression. I don't need to experience my grandmother's depression also. I don't need that vintage game.
Yeah, and you know what? You don't need her to be a fucking mouse. And there was like this one point in the game where like I was like out bicycling as a depression mouse, and like I'm trying to like bicycle as fast as possible, and they're like, no, why don't you slow down to look at the fucking like Dust Bowl farms which can't produce any crops? And I'm like, how about no? And it like kept on like forcing me to slow down to look at all of the desolation. And I'm like, man, video game, what is your point? And like,
It sounds like it's tragedy porn.
It does sound like tragedy porn, yeah.
and like the game has zero dialogue. Everything is presented as these like fractured little like vignettes.
Sure.
So there's no single cohesive narrative to propel the player through this experience. So like you're sitting there and you're like, okay, like where are we going? Like, is there a story? Are you going to engage me with a narrative here? And they're like, oh yeah, no narrative. And I'm just like, oh god, die in a fire.
Okay, Brand hates this game. Brand, what's the other game? What's the other Denver International finalist or whatever?
Two other finalists from Denver. In contrast, I don't hate them.
Okay.
I played a game called That Which Faith Demands. This game is fucking rad.
Okay.
So, in this game, you are a refugee, and you have gone to work for a company which is kind of a salvage operation. And, like, what this company salvages are technology from, like, old mechs. So, like, mechs which are, like, laying, like, just, like, broken on the surface of a world where there was, like a giant war.
Okay.
And mechs are gods.
Oh, so you're desecrating their corpses.
Right. And so, like, you definitely believe that mechs are gods, like, as your character. But, like, you're in a position where, like, you know, like, you've been pushed to your, like, edge as a refugee, and you need to survive. And so, like, you're kind of in this position now where to survive, you need to desecrate, like, God, but that which faith demands is to not do so.
This game description is actually kind of... This kind of slaps.
Yeah, this looks kind of...
Yeah. And so, like, the idea, like, the game presents stuff as, like, God as hostile architecture.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like other stuff, which is like the mundanity of like working a job you don't like. There's like stuff in the game about just like trying to like get along with your new coworkers, but like it's awkward and you're really only doing it in order to like make work less unpleasant in the moment to moment. And like all of it feels incredibly propulsive and incredibly intriguing. Like I'm like wandering around inside of like this giant mech and thinking about like the way that the arm was crushed and like what happened to this, and like at one point like I'm trying to like pull pieces of like the mech's arm off, and I'm in this like sunken pit down where the arm is, and it just starts to like fill with like the like oil / blood of the mech, and I get subsumed, and I discover that like the essence of the mech is still alive in the suit, and like the god is like, why are you here? And it's fucking great. I've already run through it twice just to like see different stuff in the story, and it's absolutely fantastic. The dev on this game is, oh shit, Rocky, remind me, I forgot a game name, and I know you can tell me. That Match 3 rhythm puzzler, which is coming out, that we're excited about.
Spirit Swap, lo-fi
Spirit Swap.
beats to swap spells to?
Yeah. The developer on this game is one of the devs for Spirit Swap.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Yeah. The day that this came out, it like shot to the top of like itch, and I saw Rami recommending the game online, and I'm like, okay, like this seems like a good way to spend $10, and I was absolutely right. It is absolutely a good way to spend $10, and is a much better application of your time than Sad Mice.
The third finalist?
The third finalist from the Denver International Palm France Festival is Before Your Eyes. I played through this game yesterday, and like I guess this video game decided it would be a good idea for me to cry uncontrollably.
Sure.
This is a video game that you control with your eyes.
Okay.
Oh, I heard about this game. This is the blinking game.
This is the blinking game, Sach.
Ah, the blinking
Yes,
game.
yes.
Okay.
Because
I
everybody...
know what game you're talking about, too.
Okay. And as you're like moving through the character's life, and you're like finding, like, you get to these moments where you're like, you don't want to advance, you don't want to move forward, and you're like struggling to not blink, but then you blink. And then there's like moments where like, because it's using like eye tracking with the blinking, it's like asking you like look in a particular direction, and you find yourself like looking in a direction, and it's like, well, if you blink over here, then this is going to happen. And it's wild when you like do that like inadvertently, and you're like, no, I didn't want to tear up the music in front of my mom, that kind of thing. Like,
Right, yeah.
and I guess I didn't expect it to be such an absolutely perfect synthesis of mechanic and narrative. Like a lot of times, like when somebody like shoots their shot with like creating new mechanics, that's like where most of their energy is gone, because they're trying to make sure that like the mechanic is good and right. But like this, they absolutely have it bound to this like story where it feels just so right. It's a beautiful game, and it's really satisfying like to sit there and completely control this thing with your eyes. Like where you're looking, it's tracking. And so one of the things you do a lot in this game is to play the piano. You entirely are playing the piano based on like where you're looking at on screen at any given time, which was really wild. So I strongly recommend making time for this if you haven't. There is a really cool character in the game who's kind of like this dog who guides people in like the land of the dead. And the whole premise of the game is that he's getting ready to present your soul, but he's like, I'm going to argue for your soul, but I need to know why you're special. And so he's kind of like taking you through your life and finding out about you, and then kind of like interrogating your memory to find what things that you're glossing over, what are the things that you don't want to talk about. And so then like digging into that stuff. And so, like, it does a really good job of, like, talking about how humans relate to memory, which I thought was really fascinating. So, like, really, really strong recommend here. I know that there are people out there who relate to spoilers differently than I do, so I kind of don't want to say a great deal more about it. But this is also $10 well spent. So, like, yeah, here you go. 3 games that are, like, artsy as fuck. 2 of them I enthusiastically recommend. 1 of them has mice in it. I think the next things to talk about are energetic throwbacks. So there was a game that got announced in 2016 called Huntdown. When they announced this game, Huntdown, they're like, hey, we're making Huntdown for iOS. And when Coffee Stain Publishing got a look at Huntdown, they said, hey, that's fine and all, but here are some development funds in order to, like, add console and PC to your development cycle because we think Huntdown looks great. And so the dev team added and prioritized, you know, for, like, their release calendar, PC and console, with the target platform still being iOS. And the iOS version of Huntdown came out this week, and it feels a lot like the aesthetic and the sensibilities of, like, late 80s, early 90s arcade cabinet. Like, it feels like something that could have come out of, like, the team at Midway that did Narc. You know, could have done this, right?
Right.
Take those sensibilities, but then push forward the technology available to that team to, say, like, the PS1, you know, where you've got, like, reliable CD audio and, like, better background scrolling and a richer color palette. And it's very, very cool. It's a retro futuristic vibe. So it's like you're a bounty hunter and you play through these run and gun levels where you pick 1 of 3 bounty hunters who each one of them has, like, an alternate power that they can use. And at the end of each level, the boss is the bounty that you're trying to collect in that level. And when I got to the end of the 3rd level and the bounty that I was trying to collect was, no shit, this, like, gigantic luchador who's, like, throwing oil barrels at me and yelling at me in a Randy Macho Man Savage voice. I was like, okay, I kind of love this video game. Holy shit. It's a lot of fun to murder a zillion creeps in this game. Also, really, really surprised at, like, just how good the game handles stuff that doesn't normally come into play with video games that are aiming for, like, this type of gameplay feel or this type of visual fidelity. Like, I like that there's really good bounce physics on, like, grenades and stuff. So, like, when I toss a grenade or I toss a Molotov cocktail, like, the way that they react to bouncing off surfaces is different from, like, grenade to Molotov. That, like, if I'm standing far enough back and I toss the Molotov and it hits a wall first, it will break from the impact and explode on the wall and just create fire on the wall. But I can also, like, crouch and throw it closer to an area so that way it doesn't immediately break on the wall and gets another bounce before it breaks. I like that fire spreads in the game and eventually burns out. Cover objects have, like, varying degrees of destructibility. So, like, if I'm shooting at an enemy behind cover, I can eventually destroy whatever cover object he's hiding behind. But there's not just, like, a static rule for, like, all cover objects can be broken up with X many shots. It varies based on, like, what the cover object is made out of. There's also, like, a good cover system for, like, ducking into doorways. So, like, if you're, like, running towards some dudes shooting at you and then they start shooting at you, you don't necessarily just need to crouch behind something. If you are standing in front of a doorway, you can then duck into the doorway to dodge. The dash feels real good. I'm a sucker for a good dash. And love the character design. Like, overall, like, as a person who, like, absolutely, like, feeds off of brawlers, I like when you have repeatable creeps that show up in, like, a game, like a Streets of Rage or a Final Fight, the repeatable creeps need to be real good. And the repeatable creeps in Huntdown are definitely real good. The other, like, super retro throwback that I want to talk about is Carve Snowboarding that absolutely came out of fucking nowhere this week. Carve Snowboarding got announced at the last, like, Oculus Gaming Showcase when they announced that you know, like, Giles Goddard and his team were now developing a game for Oculus, which is a sequel to 1080 Snowboarding for the N64. And that just came out this week with absolutely no announced warning. Just like Thursday showed up with like, surprise, Carve Snowboarding is out. I was like, oh, damn. Okay, cool. Carve Snowboarding is very fucking cool. It feels real good. If you've spent any real time with like 1080 Snowboarding on the N64, you'll be right at home. It feels real good to grind in the game. Like when you find rails, you know, on the slopes. I was wondering how would the sensation of grinding translate to a VR environment? And the answer is pretty well. It's cool to like explore these like larger levels and like find more music that I can play in my cabin or set as my music in levels. I'll like, you know, poke around and discover like more snowboards or more gloves. Definitely a very satisfying feeling. Also, like, the aesthetic of the game is like decidedly modern. It looks like a new game, but as far as like the way their like color palette selection goes and their like color choices go, like it definitely feels like a generational successor to an N64 game. I'm sure you folks know what I mean when I say like different color palettes make you think of like different platforms. There are definitely like purples and blues I can look at and say like, oh, that's a Genesis purple, or oh, that's a Genesis blue, or oh, that's a SNES green. And Carve Snowboarding does a good job of using the color palette choices of an N64 game while still embracing a modern aesthetic.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering about that, how that translates into VR while still having the color palette. Like, it's not like blocky, but it's in VR, right? So
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, because like if they went with that low poly look, like then it would definitely make you motion sick.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, this doesn't look like things. It's an interesting feeling because like the dev team here is a dev team that has been like working exclusively on Nintendo platforms ever since Star Fox. And like this is their first game for a non-Nintendo platform in like damn near 30 years, which is a wild feel. So like this definitely feels like a Nintendo game on your Oculus.
Interesting.
Let's see here. An outlier here is Fallen of the Round, which is a little roguelike game or roguelite where you like build a party of these like little pieces like knights and berserkers and mages and so forth. And the way you play the game is to pull back with your finger and then let the disc slide forward and do damage to pieces for the opposing team, which are all presented as like really well rendered miniatures, but like when they come into contact with each other, these like lovely little miniatures look like they're hitting each other. So it's like a slidey disc impact combat game where you're like trying to build like the best party, or you're like, oh, okay, I've got 4 slots. What do I need to get in there? Like, oh, let me get a knight because a knight has like decent damage, but can also heal a party with an X percentage after each round. My archer has like the longest range, et cetera, et cetera. So I've done some runs with it so far. Like, I think that the thing that stands out with me the most is like the pick up and put down like quality of it, and that it's so very pretty. This is a game that I think could easily work on Switch because of motion controls with the Joy-Cons, or actually just letting people use the touchscreen if they're in handheld mode. But a very lovely little game. Let's see here what's next. Next up, let's Smut Corner. We've got 2 games in Smut Corner this week. One is Crisis Point Extinction, and it feels in every way like the way it plays like a Way Forward game. I don't know if anybody played that like Way Forward Aliens game for the DS or the Mummy Demastered. those games which kind of like take Metroidvania sensibilities, but then give you like Contra style gunplay. That's Crisis Point Extinction, and Crisis Point Extinction definitely embraces like character design, which feels like it could have like fallen out of a Shantae game. But then Crisis Point Extinction is like, hey, when you're near an enemy, you can press X to fuck it, which almost...
What?
Yes. Which almost feels out of place because, like, so much of the game is just, like, this very, like, tightly designed Metroidvania that the sleaze of the game feels almost tacked on, if that makes sense. I mean, the premise of the game is, like, inherently sleazy. Like, in the game, your main character is, like, left Earth on an important mission because now there's only women on Earth, and so unless men are found, humanity will die out. And so you need to go find men, right, to fuck them. But then you're wandering around this Metroidvania, and it just feels like whenever like the sleaziness like interrupts the Metroidvania action, it's kind of like jarring. You're like, oh, okay, I guess this is one of those. Another weird takeaway of this game is like the dev seems to like be like very much of like the aggressively angry get good kind. I hopped into the Discord for this game and I saw like some people being like, hey dev, there's some pretty significant like difficulty spikes in Crisis Point Extinction. To which he just replied, no, there's not. It's like every enemy has significant visual tells. There's frames of animations where every enemy is vulnerable. If you're having difficulty playing this game, work harder. There are no difficulty spikes. You're like, oh yeah, well, but there are. And they're like, and he just responds with, absolutely not. No difficulty spikes whatsoever. You're just trashing video games.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I was just looking at the itch page for the demo, and yeah, like just looking at the first couple like GIFs they have on the page, it's like, oh, like, yeah, it's like a pretty lady, her like shirt's falling off or whatever. I'm like, I was wondering before you mentioned the sex with the enemies thing, I was like, where's the smut? What's the deal? And then I scrolled down a little bit, and it's like a picture of the lady all tied up, and it says not censored in game, and it's fairly censored. And I was like, okay, I see. But then it looks like a pretty cool Metroidvania. Like, I like the art style. The gun looks pretty cool.
Yeah, like, it's very clear that, like, this dude has played a shit ton of WayForward games. And it feels very, very strongly influenced. The gun feels good. The jumping feels good. And it honestly feels like if somebody, like, just threw enough money at this game and was like, okay, take out the enemy fucking. This is the kind of game that people like Jonathan Holmes over at Destructoid would gush about because it has that very engaging, like 1632-bit Metroidvania feel. And I know that there are people out there who like hard games, and this is one. So like I don't know, like I like this game, but like I'm not sure like I am into the way this guy reacts to feedback because he's in a Patreon model where his funding is coming from Patreon. And I don't know, like when my patrons say things, I tend to listen, but I'm just over here now. The other game at Smut Corner this week is Huniepop 2 Double Date. I deliberately put off like digging into Huniepop 2 until I got my GPD Win 3 because I figured that an ideal way to play Match 3 games is on like a laptop or a palm top which has a touchscreen, because then like your gem swapping is going to feel like a lot more natural than it would with a mouse and keyboard. And turns out that is absolutely right. And Huniepop 2 is absolutely more Huniepop. So like if you liked Huniepop, you'll like Huniepop 2. So far, like my biggest like observation comparing the two is that it feels like Huniepop 2 has less secrets on offer. There was like weird shit that you could do in like Huniepop 1 where you're like, aha, if you do this, then like an alien will come to Earth. And as near as I can tell, like there's none of that going on in Huniepop 2. I'm like, I mean, who knows? Maybe there is, and people just haven't found it yet. But so far, it just feels like more Huniepop with less secrets. The biggest mechanical difference is that since the whole gimmick of the game is like organizing menage a trois, then like all of the match 3, you are encountering like 2 characters at one time. And so you have to balance your gym matches for the 2 characters. So you can't like say overly favor one and then not favor the other at all. And so you're kind of having to like balance like, oh, I need to do this match. Then I need to do this match. Then I need to switch which character I'm targeting and then do that match. Like, oh, I can't eliminate these gems as this character because I need to stockpile those for that character. And so, like, I do like the goal balancing that you're required to do in it. That feels new mechanically. I would like to see more match 3s, which aren't necessarily Huniepop, incorporate that because that's interesting. And...
But what about the horny gamer, Brian?
I think that the horny gamer will be very satisfied by Huniepop too.
Oh, I'm sure. Huniepop 1 was perfectly horny.
Yeah. So, like, yes. Like, Huniepop 2 has more of that. There is a specific feature in the options menu for Huniepop 2 that I think I have a problem with. There is a character in the game named Polly. Polly is a trans woman.
Mm-hmm.
I'm already afraid. Go ahead.
Yeah, the setup is not making me ready.
And so in the options menu, there's a thing for Polly, and it says Polly. And the option is labeled innie or outie.
Oh.
Yeah.
That sounds fucking... No.
Yeah.
I don't think I understand, but I don't think I need to understand.
It took me a second, and then when I did, I was like, oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
And most of the writing in Huniepop comes across as, like, irreverent and, like, playful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, this just feels, like, gross. Yeah.
Bad.
So I'm glad it's, like, stuck in an options menu, meaning that, like, theoretically somebody might never see it. If somebody just jumps in and is like, I want to match gyms and jacket, like, they might never see that. But just, I still don't like it. I mean, I do like that the game has a trans character, but I think that option sucks.
Well, it's because it does.
Yeah.
Yes. What have I not? Okay. Fallumns. Fallumns won the most recent Let 'em Dare. It won Let 'em Dare 48. And I heard, Fallumns will break you. And I said, okay, really? Come on. Fallumns can't break me. And then I played Fallumns. Do not look at anything related to Fallumns before playing Fallumns. Do not go watch videos. Do not read anything. Do nothing. And I'm normally not this guy. But, like, I was like, oh, come on. Match 3, Puzzler. Come on, these are my bread and fucking butter. And then I started to play Fallumns. And then about 5 minutes into playing Fallumns, I was shouting at my monitor going, what is even happening? Fuck you, what is even happening?
Man, Brian, for someone who, like, gets broken pretty often, like, it seems kind of bold of you to say that this game wouldn't break you.
This game broke me hard. This game frog fractions me. I was right back in the literature club, friends. These are very specific pulls, which I think have power.
Okay, I get what you're saying. I'll play it on stream this week. We'll see what happens.
If you enjoyed Frog Fractions, if you enjoyed Doki Doki Literature Club, Match 3 Puzzler Fallumns is a game you should play. Play this fucking video game. And I guess the last thing I've got here is our Roblox Roundup. So there's currently an event going on in Roblox called Gucci Garden, which is a Roblox cross Gucci collaboration. That's real.
Good for them, I guess.
All right.
Yeah. And so from May 17th to May 31st, you have the ability to visit the Gucci Garden. And the first and last rooms you visit in the Gucci Garden are static. But in between, you'll encounter a procedural experience evocative of the luxury Gucci brand.
Oh, that's so many
Right.
words.
This sounds interesting.
It sounds like nothing.
Well, it is nothing.
That's such a word salad of empty calories.
But this is where I love kids, and kids are the hope of the future. Is when I went into Gucci Garden, I don't often bring up like the chat window in Roblox, but there were all of these like 11-year-olds in here be like, "This is stupid. I hate this. This sucks. Gucci is bad. Expensive things are bad." There was one kid who just said in all caps, "This is all about purses."
I mean, it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe
Yep.
some belts.
Looks like there's some sunglasses and a feather and crystals headpiece.
Yes. So, like, when the Gucci Garden launched, it quickly became the most downvoted event in Roblox history.
Good for them.
Yes, the Roblox kids were like, "Get your Gucci out of my Roblox." And then Gucci, in an effort to try and like recover some value from this, was like, "Fuck, what do we do?" So, like, if you own an item in Roblox, if you're like, "I have this hat," you have the ability to resell the hat. You know, you can sell a hat that you own. So then what Gucci did was to make the items associated with the event that you can purchase limited. So what happened then was Roblox private profiteers started flooding into the Gucci Garden to buy Gucci items before the end of the event, so that way when the items are no longer acquirable through Gucci, they can then resell the Gucci items in the future for more money. And there are other like Roblox people who are like, "I'm angry at this because this is causing further destabilization of like the Roblox economy." And then there's kids who are just like, "This sucks because it's just about expensive stuff." And so it's been wild to like see, like, now that I'm trying to pay attention to the Roblox community, see like kids get angry at Gucci because they're like, "Why are you trying to invade my Roblox?" And Roblox not anticipating how much negative blowback this Gucci event would have, and watching like Gucci try and manage it because Gucci didn't understand what Roblox is, and then actually logging into the Gucci Garden experience and just seeing a bunch of like kids just be like, "This sucks, ah!" The whole gimmick of the experience is you walk through the gimmick and it returns you to the room that you started in. You like return to standing on top of like a podium with like the outfit that you created throughout your experience. And it's like, you made a Gucci outfit. And so now there's like a pedestal in the instance which shows the outfit that you made, and it's labeled with your name or your user tag. And since I could not use my traditional gamer tag in Roblox because it said that it was inappropriate for Roblox, my Roblox user tag is Ducket Sequoia. And so there is some like pedestal in like the Gucci Garden of a mannequin labeled Ducket Sequoia. And that just makes me really happy. The other Roblox thing I fucked with this week is a Roblox game called Evelyn. And like Evelyn is the kind of like earnest crap that I am starting to really love in Roblox. It's like, "Hey, this is a mystery. You've got to solve the mystery of Evelyn." And so, like, the game starts out with like you in a police station, and like it's like seemingly in this like interrogation room, and there's a person who's like, "Hi, I'm Evelyn's dad," and he's the cop, and he's like, "My daughter Evelyn mysteriously died last week. And so me and my wife, we immediately moved out of the house to our other house, which is nearby. And we don't know why Evelyn died. And so now there's an investigation. I think that it has something to do with the doll that I bought for her. And the doll had previously been owned by a royal family. And so it's a royal family doll. And we think it might be haunted."
Okay.
Yeah, at which point, like...
That is a hell of a premise.
Yeah, it's so, like, this... All of, like, the way the storytelling works in Evelyn just sounds like an excited 10-year-old trying to tell you something. And then it, like, flings you into kind of, like, a horror game, where it's like, now you're in this haunted house, or you're trying to solve the mystery of the death of Evelyn. And it's like, "Hey, you're going to solve the mystery in there. You find out why our daughter died. We'll be at our other house." And don't worry, the haunted doll is somewhere in the house, but you'll be fine. And so, like, it's weird because, like, then the game, like, flings you into this, like, really, really, like, effective horror segment. And I'm like, this kid's game is really good. Like there's really, really good, like, obscure adventure game puzzling in there. And I'm like, this kid has obviously spent time, like, touching stuff like Resident Evil or The Room or other, like, adventure-based puzzle games. So, like, they understand stuff like atmosphere and they understand stuff like mechanics. But when they try and, like, layer storytelling on top of that, you're getting, like, Ernest Talks Too Quickly kid stuff. And so it's this kind of, like, really, really cute mixture because you're like, man, I hope this kid sticks with game development because they already understand, like, what drives a good horror game. The game got a pop for me. It got me to go, like, it got a good scare out of me. And then, like, on top of that, it has all these satisfying puzzles, but there's this silly, silly narrative. And so there's a level of charm there. And I'm finding that increasingly, like, when I log into Roblox, what I'm looking for are, like, these weird, earnest experiences, of which Evelyn is a very good one.
I don't know that a kid made that game.
I'm listening.
It doesn't sound like a game a kid would make. Like, I could believe that a kid probably did the dialogue specifically, but I don't know that a kid made the game itself. Does that make sense?
So you're thinking it's more like an Axe Cop type of project?
Yeah, exactly.
Now there's nothing else known about them so far.
Yeah.
Active account for 4 years.
Yeah, that's all I can see, yeah. Elusive.
Active account for 4 years already tells me it's not like a kid.
It could be.
Like, that might be a kid who grew up on Roblox, but maybe is no longer a, like, child, you know?
Maybe.
It might just be someone who's not particularly great at storytelling themselves, and so they're leaning into that to make you think they're a child.
I mean, I guess it's possible, but, like, I don't know. Roblox's, like, tools are actually surprisingly intuitive.
Yeah.
So, like, if they were, like, say, 4 years ago, and, like, they put this out, like, recently, even if they were actually working on it the entire time, that's still, like, what, a teenager putting out this horror game?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's possible.
That's believable, yeah.
I'd like to know more about the creator. Brian, why don't you invite him for an interview? See what happens.
I had difficulty finding any contact method the creator, aside from trying to send them a message within Roblox.
Well, yeah, that's what you'd have to do.
So I suppose that's worth a shot.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to know more. It seems like there are certain things that you, like, can start to recognize as, like, the signatures of, like, different styles of Roblox games. Like, there are, now that I've played a shit ton of obbies, here are the things that, like, Roblox developers always do in obbies. And this one, like, actively seemed like it was trying to subvert some of the things that always happen in Roblox horror games, which might be evidence to, like, Tegan's contention that, like, the design is too sophisticated. But either way, like, Evelyn fascinates me as a game experience. Yeah. Would y'all like to talk about the various ways the world disappoints us?
Is that what we're doing?
Let's do it.
Is there a call to action this week? Sach, do you have a call to action?
No.
Okay.
I have a call to action. Go give Sach money on SoundCloud.
Yeah, actually, deadass. Go give Sach some money on SoundCloud. He deserves it.
Okay. Thank you.
There you go. That's a good call to action. Here's what's not good, though.
Mm-hmm.
So IGN, right? IGN management is now claiming that the removal of the post about giving to charities in support of Palestinian citizens was not a result of corporate interference. So IGN published and then removed a post which linked to charities in support of Palestinian victims. And then after that post came down, 80 IGN staffers signed and published an open letter which was in protest of corporate's removal of the post. Then IGN's chief content officer, Pierre Schneider, said that the decision to remove the post was made by editorial, not by corporate, effectively removing blame for either Ziff Davis or J2 Global. In an all-hands meeting on May 25th, Ziff Davis president Steve Horowitz repeated Schneider's claims and said nobody else at J2 or Ziff Davis ordered the post to come down. Instead, he pinned the blame on editorial as a whole, suggesting that there were employees that were upset by the post and the imagery, but didn't feel comfortable speaking up. So, fuck this into the dirt.
This is just bad all around. Yeah, I mean, it's...
Let's play a game. Let's play a game right now. Who do we believe?
I believe the IGN editorial staff, and not the fucking IGN chief content officer, Pierre Schneider.
Yeah, I believe the people who were like, what the fuck? We didn't want that to come down. That's bullshit.
I don't think I could ever believe someone named Pierre Schneider. That doesn't sound like a real name to me. I'm sorry.
No, it's fair. You know what? Fair, valid. Excellent criticism. 10 out of 10.
Sounds like the name of a Depression-era mouse.
It sounds like a TV villain.
The idea that, like, corporate can't even accept ownership of their dog shit move, and that they're like, oh, no, this was your editorial leadership. Please go yell at your middle management boss. They're the reason this happened.
Right, yeah, honestly.
Even if that was true, right? Like, in some goofy-ass universe where Ziff Davis is telling the truth that J2 and he did not say that this post needs to go down, why would you get on stage? It's like, hey, guys, we didn't do this. It just turns out editorial's a bunch of cowards. And they didn't want to say it. But they...
And honestly, like, editorial probably would have had to approve that post, right? In the first place? That's what
it was approved internally by editorial and put up, and, you know...
I don't think some dude just went rogue and was like, you know what I'm gonna do? And then 80 people were like, hey, no, wait a minute, you know? Like,
the charities were like Doctors Without Borders, man. It was like, it wasn't even like, I mean, not that it would be controversial to give money to, you know, like, more directly Palestinian causes, but it can be considered controversial by some, right?
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately. And it wasn't things like that either, right? It was like Doctors Without Borders.
Like cookie cutter charities, like, it'd be a good idea to give them money in general, let alone for this.
It's just fucking ridiculous, man. It pisses me off so much that this could happen. And it's like, you know what, maybe they didn't, like, directly say, like, oh, it has to come down. Maybe they put pressure on the editorial, you know, like, leadership, and, you know, without saying it, they said it to them, right? You know.
And then this business that, like, J2 Global had to say, it's like, oh, well, by not having a link to charities for Israeli citizens, this appears to take a side. I wasn't aware that the only hospital producing doses of the coronavirus vaccine in Israel had been bombed. Oh, wait, that didn't happen? Fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
Just fuck off to hell. Like,
they blew up the television towers and shit. Like, come on. It's very easy when you're looking at it. What the fuck?
I'm sorry, stopping journalists on the street and breaking their cameras is not a great look. Blowing up, they blew up the fucking Red Cross.
They blew up the Red Cross, they blew up the AP, Al Jazeera. I mean, it's like...
And because I'm always interested in, like, the weird shit that nobody thinks about in these immediate moments is, like, I was reading something on Reddit, which was a gamer in Gaza who was like, yeah, like, you know, you wouldn't think about this because it's not something you think about in situations like this. But because one of the things that the IDF targeted with the bombing was video rental stores, they bombed all the video rental stores because Gaza is still a place where there are video rental stores.
Right.
Because they bombed all the video rental stores. Yeah, now it's harder to get video games. It's like, I haven't played anything in a while. He's like, I've got obviously have friends who are dead, and that's a bigger issue, but...
Yeah. My friends are dead, and I can't play video games.
My friends are dead, and I can't even drown the shit in Mass Effect. Like, just...
Oh, my God.
Just... Oh, God. And here comes, like, fucking J2 Global and Ziff Davis being like, oh, blame Todd. Todd took it down. Just, like... fucking just own it. Be terrible. If you're gonna be terrible, just be terrible.
Yeah, that's what Corel's about, right?
Wait, Corel? Like, I don't know why my brain is working. I thought you meant like Corel Draw, like the application.
No,
Cruella.
Cruella. Cruella,
Yeah.
the
The new
movie,
film. About the Dalmatians.
where the Dalmatians
I was
killed
just
her
gonna
mom.
say, I heard that the Dalmatians killed her mom, and that's why she does what she does. And
Bro,
I
I saw it. It was the
Yeah.
dumbest shit I've seen in my life.
But then the movie comes at you with the twist, and it's like, surprise, it's not even her mom.
Imagine showing up Cruella, like, I understand you're upset, but she wasn't even your mom, though. Like come on. Oh, god damn it. Disney's
Rocky,
on
did
one.
you like that Cruella was pretty much fucking Banksy?
Oh, yeah, that was some shit. I hope Banksy, like, reveals himself just to sue Disney. That would actually be sick.
The movie was a whole vibe.
Fuck.
I'm surprised that you rolled out to a fucking movie theater for that, Rocky. I'm legitimately shocked.
Oh, it's okay. I'm double vaxxed up, dude. And, you know, someone is going to see these masks, Brian. This is the world that we live in.
Tegan,
Yeah.
apparently there's a solution to all of Cyberpunk's problems.
No! They just think this is a solution. So Cyberpunk 2077 has a new director!
Okay.
Everybody please welcome Gabriel Amontegallo. Yay! He previously worked as a creative director. He's replacing Adam Badowski, who, you know, fucked everything up, and now is moving to a different leadership role at CD Projekt Red.
As they want to do.
Mm-hmm. Gabriel used to work at BioWare as a design director for Dragon Age Inquisition's DLC, and lead designer for several of the Star Wars Old Republic expansions, according to Games Industry. And before that, he was on EA's Mythic Entertainment. Basically, what this is signaling to people is that CD Projekt Red is now getting ready to start developing the free DLC that was originally promised to players, but was delayed. You know, because of all launch issues. CD Projekt Red is still also trying to figure out how to get Cyberpunk back on the PlayStation Store.
It's still not on PlayStation. Oh my god.
Yeah, they fucked
Yeah,
up!
because,
They
you know-
fucked up huge!
I don't know if you remember this, Sach, but about 6 months ago, Sony actually, first of all, issued refunds for a
Yes, I do
digital
remember,
game,
yeah.
and then did remove said digital game from their store because there were, I do believe, a few bugs in it. It was not... It just wasn't quite up to snuff, so, you know.
I completely forgot about it being like delisted, and it's still That's crazy that it's still delisted.
Well, they haven't
What the
fixed
hell?
it.
Well, yeah, I mean that's what I mean. That like they still haven't gotten to the point where they like can relist it. I mean,
There's still holes in the ground where I can just fall forever. There's a stack of crates, and if I walk behind it, I just fall into the abyss, and that's it. And then I fall, and then it respawns me right before where I fell.
Do you like that if you stand on a rooftop and you fire a gun, it just makes a cop exist behind you?
Yeah, a cop just fucking
Yeah.
shows up, teleports out of fucking nothing. Let me tell you what, if cops
all you
had
have to
that
do is
technology,
drive one block away, and the cop will stop chasing you. Like literally one block. It happened every time. Like if you're driving on the street, accidentally run some guy over. The cops are chasing you. Oh no. Oh, never mind. They're gone. I don't know what happened.
oh no, whatever will I do? Drives one block away.
Yeah, like
Where did he go? I guess we'll never find out.
it's like I don't even know what free DLC or even paid DLC would make me want to come back to that game. Like I was okay. I mean, it was fine in the end. Like it was crazy buggy and all that, but like I don't know what would make me and other people come back to the game. More story? I don't even know. Like it doesn't really make sense.
Right.
I liked when CD Projekt Red issued a statement which was a quasi-apology for how many dildos there were in the game. You know, like, they're like, you know what, we've realized that we may have put too many dildos in this game.
Oh, wait, shit, that did happen.
Yes!
Wasn't it something like that there was a bug that was making more dildos spawn over other objects or something like that?
Right, and
Yeah.
so, like...
Yeah, you couldn't pick up stuff like Quest stuff you couldn't pick up because there were so many.
Fucking amazing.
It's fucking stupid.
This was a $60 video game. Jesus Christ.
This was a clusterfuck from start to finish.
I couldn't even brain a pedestrian with the dildo like in Saints Row 3. It just sits in my inventory and does nothing.
You know what? Oh, God.
It's a dildo.
You know
virus.
what? Oh, God, we'll get to it. We'll fucking get to it. But talking about Saints Row 3, like, I definitely had a moment watching some video game marketing material this week where I did the Leonardo DiCaprio pointing meme. Where I was like, God damn it. Like, Saints Row 3 and Saints Row 4 are fucking transcendent video games ahead of their fucking time. People didn't know. You know, like, you don't know what you've got till it's gone. Like,
Gone.
they're so good. Like, everything about Saints Row 3 and 4 are fucking amazing. From, like, the fact that...
Saints Row 4, yes.
Oh, God. Like, from, like, the fact that, like, every weapon feels good, that every part of the movement feels amazing, to the fact that the writing is punchy and clever and engaging and propulsive. Like, you really get hooked by the narrative in Saints Row 3 and 4, to, like, understanding that, like, there's a level of moral engagement that is required by a video game where you're killing people, and then it starts to, like, probe that.
Right.
And then, on top of all of that, Saints Row 3 and 4 have the intestinal fortitude to sit down and critically examine the sexual politics of video games. They go like, hey, like, let's talk about male gaze. Let's talk about, like, appropriate gender representation in video games. Like, I feel like if there was a video game that captured the spirit of what it's like to watch the latter Fast and Furious films, it is Saints Row 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
You put it perfectly. I'm a huge Saints Row 4 defender. I think it's an excellent, excellent video game. It's the best superhero game I've ever played.
Yep.
Yeah.
Full stop.
Yeah.
Full fucking stop. Which I guess means when I saw, like, it gets stolen from this week, I got grouchy. Which is a good segue into our next story. So, like, Ubisoft tried to sell us things this week.
Did they succeed?
No. At least not here.
Of course not. It's Ubisoft.
Right. I guess in a week where, like, Sony tried to sell us things, and it sounds like in Sony's case, based on the Miss Piggy trombone voice, they did successfully sell us things.
Oh, yeah, they did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then, like, Sega tried to badly keep the secret of Sonic Breath of the Wild.
Sonic Breath of the Wild?
Yeah, I've got bad news, Tegan.
It's not quite that. I wouldn't say that, but...
I don't know, giant rolling... Okay.
Are you talking about the Sonic Colors remake?
No, I'm not.
I was talking about that little tease of, like, where it was like...
Sonic Rangers.
Yeah.
Oh, Sonic Rangers.
That's what it's called, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what the new game is called, Sonic Rangers?
The worst kept secret in fucking video games. It is apparently, like, a giant open world game where, like, Sonic travels around a landscape, encountering several small, discrete, smaller experiences. We're not calling them shrines. They're smaller, discrete experiences. Yeah, and so he encounters smaller, discrete experiences, comes across larger areas which are guarded by single bosses, and then after he's collected enough of the Chaos Emeralds, proceeds to the center of the map where he will face the final boss.
Wow, they really did just say, hey, can I copy your homework?
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
But will the speed run be as cool?
Interested, but concerned.
but will the speed run be as cool? That's my question.
Actually, by definition, probably not, because you probably won't even be able to go supersonic. There's no Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah, from what I understand, you don't go supersonic until the final boss fight, and that's the only time in the game you go supersonic.
That's when Sonic becomes Super Saiyan, right? He's like all yellow and stuff?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Unless I can levitate around in an ore cart, this game can fuck off. I'm just saying. But anyway, back to, like, Ubisoft. Ubisoft tried to sell us Far Cry this week. And the thing that made me do the Leonardo DiCaprio pointing meme is that, like, when they were having their video and they're like, hey, this game takes place on the island of Yara, which is under the brutal dictatorship of this, I guess, communist leader or something, that guy from Breaking Bad. And so everyone who lives here on the island of Yara just makes weapons out of whatever they can, And so here's a gun that uses the motor from a CD player to operate. And so you have to have a CD in the gun to make it run, right? So please enjoy this game where you're firing the Macarena gun.
That's what it's called?
When the gun is in operation, it has the Macarena CD single in it. And so, like, whenever...
Oh, my God.
Does it play Hey
It
Macarena?
does.
That's what he's saying.
And so you're just running around shooting people. You're shooting CDs at people while the one CD stays permanently in the CD player playing the Macarena. And I'm just looking at this, like, Saints Row fucking gun, and I'm like, man, Saints Row flew so Far Cry could fart. You know, it just like,
Yep. Yeah.
Fuck this, kill it with fire. But that's not even the thing that they did that was the most Ubisoft thing here, which is Ubisoft felt the need to say what they always say. They bragged, they're like, hey, we talked to freedom fighters, and we talked to guerrilla fighters from Cuba. And then they're like, hey, so even though we talked to real Cuban guerrillas, we want to say that this game is about, quote, the general idea of revolution. This is inspired by real history, but we don't want to make a statement about Cuba. So here's our quote from Navid Kavari, the narrative director from the game. Hem. We also fell in love with the culture and the people we met. When we came out of that, it wasn't that we felt we had to do Cuba. We realized it's a complicated island, and our game doesn't want to make a political statement about what's happening in Cuba specifically. Beyond that, we're drawing inspiration from guerrilla movements around the world and throughout history. For us, it felt like doing the island of Yara would help us tell a story that while being very open with our politics and inspiration. So here's Ubisoft saying, like, Far Cry 6 is not political, but while still saying Yara would help us tell a story while being very open with our politics. I'm really tired of this shit with Ubisoft in a huge way. Like, when they put out Far Cry 5, which was about, like, a weird right-wing cult in Montana, and they're like, hey, this video game about a weird right-wing cult in Montana is not political. Or, like, you know, the persistent claim that the Watch Doges series, WoW, is somehow, like, not political. Like, it's like, oh, wow, like, encroaching techno-capitalism and police states are, this game's not political, huh? Or The Division 2, literally a game about retaking fucking Washington, D.C. in order to, like, reestablish the U.S. government is somehow not political. Or the earlier Far Cry games, which have this, like, level of, like, colonialist fantasy because you're inevitably some kind of, like, American yokel is just, like, traipsing around some part of the world being like, oh, wow, things sure are different here, neat, wow, like, now time to, like, murder 900 people. And the idea that, like, Ubisoft is, like, inherently creating works which have some kind of, like, political reality that has to be reckoned with, regardless whether they want to acknowledge it. But they're just like, man, you know what? There are angry people on the internet who will not buy our video game if we reckon with what this game is. It's garbage. Y'all got any thoughts?
This sucks, but it's predictable.
Yeah, this is the signature Ubisoft move, right? Like, I mean, like you're saying, it's like, we do this hyper-political thing, and we're just going to pretend like, you know, the politics of anything don't exist, regardless of, like, whatever politics are obviously written into the story by the people who are writers at Ubisoft and have political views, and maybe even consciously or subconsciously that plays into their work as artists, as writers. Mm-hmm. It'll always be there, and it's like they just love to just skirt around that. Oh, we're not saying anything political. We're not doing a statement. You know, it's like whatever.
I mean, to be fair, they keep getting away with it.
They do keep getting away with it.
You know what? I think I've kind of had enough. I mean, obviously, like, Brian saying he's had enough is not going to change anything.
Do you even play Far Cry?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I have ingested the last 4 Far Cry games, which were New Dawn, 5, 4, and Blood Dragon.
Wild. Stop giving those dudes money. What the fuck?
I think at this point I might be done with, like, mainline Ubisoft franchises because I cannot reckon with this shit. I just can't. It feels irresponsible.
Well, it is irresponsible. Like, they're fucking around.
Yeah.
They're doing it because they can. Otherwise, they'd have to answer real questions. And who wants to do that?
Right. Yeah.
Not me.
Fuck that noise.
Please don't ask me a real question, ever. I don't have an answer.
I'm not political.
Oh, you know who does have an answer?
Who?
Twitch. You know, last week we were talking about how there was a new streamer tag, pools, hot tubs, and beaches.
Yeah.
And it was clearly just like covered to like deal with hot tub streamers. Turns out they're gonna drown that noise with more tags. There's 350 new streamer tags that are designed to identify specific communities. Thanks to community feedback, Twitch has decided that what's literally happening on screen isn't just like the game that's being played. And so they've put these new tags into the wild related to gender, sexual orientation, race, nationality, ability, health, and more into the Twitch platform. The tags were a collaboration with Twitch and several advocacy groups like Able Gamers and the Trevor Project and a couple more, honestly. And it looks like that the people that wanted these kinds of tools to like showcase their communities, but also like people who are looking for particular communities are pretty excited about them. And there is a concern that it's going to, you know, give trolls a whole new tool set. Like if they just want to fuck with Laotians some afternoon, they can, I guess, based on like how these tags will work. But, you know, that stuff is presumably already covered in like their hateful conduct thing. And hopefully that'll just make them easier to identify. It's like you typed in Laotian into your search bar before you went to harass these people. Maybe that'll help. Who knows? Yes, Brian?
You know, I have to walk a line here.
Yeah, I do.
Once again, I do not speak for Amazon. I do not speak for Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there's something which could end up being, for some of these users, a positive feature, which is like either something like a user trust score or an ability to invite specific viewers to a stream and like kind of like wall it off, like a Discord server being like, oh, okay, like I can't watch Rocky's stream unless I have an invite from Rocky. And I have to be logged in to watch it. Like if I'm not logged in, then I can't accept my invite, and so then I can't watch the stream. So something like that, or a user trust score where like you have to, based on like active time logged in and, you know, chat behavior, your score goes up, and you can't access certain kinds of streams with certain tags until you have passed a certain like trust threshold. Because like,
that absolutely sounds already like a way to keep people out of the kinds of communities they want to be in.
Yeah.
Or
like just on an initial basis.
Or even like it may be another system that will ultimately be gained to like for people who are obviously like problems but are skirting the rules just well enough that like their score allows them to go wherever they want.
I suppose that the real answer to these questions is the expensive answer.
Yeah.
Humans doing a job.
Yeah.
And that's the one.
Hire people. You know what is going to stimulate the economy? Hiring people to do jobs.
We've already established that there's nobody at Firestone.
I mean, it's like
give them jobs.
I think a lot of the discussion about Twitch, you know, regardless of how shitty of a place it is LSF. You know, live stream fails, the subreddit.
Yeah,
and that's where a lot of talk happens about. And you know, they hate everything that Twitch does. Like, no matter how
they really do.
Any idea they have, it's like, what kind of fucking idiot would make a race and sexual orientation tag? Why would you do that? It's like, well, you know, I think it's good for people to have, you know, like, find the communities they like, blah 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 blah. But people they just take anything. I feel like they just literally think that Twitch is run by like chimpanzees that like just like smash on keyboards and like make things happen. Like it's just weird to me. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people really excited about like some of the ethnicity ones. Like there's a cosplayer that I follow that was like tweeting that she was really excited about how they added like Trinidadian and Tobagoan.
Yeah.
Tobagonian. I can't do this.
You're trying.
But those like tags, because she wants to hang out with these people on stream. Like they remind her of home because she like lives in Brooklyn and stuff. And so like, yeah, for sure. That totally makes sense.
I think a lot of the hostility that y'all are talking about, like in this Reddit or on Twitch in general, or when I see other people on Twitter talking about Twitch, is that there seems to be a segment of like live stream consumers who think that Twitch is responsible for doing three things.
Okay.
One, serving as like a marketing mechanic to get them more excited about things that they've already decided to be excited about.
Sure.
Like, I come to Twitch to see video games that I know are awesome to reinforce my buying decision.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Two, to validate the way that they engage with media. And, like, this is very much like when you see somebody playing, like, a known to be difficult video game on stream, the number of, like, armchair enthusiasts who are sitting there just being dickheads and streaming, like, oh, you should have equipped the lance knife.
Yeah.
And then roll to the left.
Yeah, it's like, dude, you don't know if you roll and then press R1 at the right time, you can stun lock the boss, and then you just hit him 6 times, and that's how you're supposed to do it every single time, because otherwise it takes like 10 minutes. It's like, dude, like, let the person play the game how they want to play the game.
Right.
But also, if they don't know, like, they don't know. Maybe they'll beat the thing a different way, and you'll be like, oh shit.
Exactly.
But that community has decided that whatever that person does is the wrong way. So when the boss is still dead anyway, they're like, you did it wrong. And so like they go to Twitch to like validate like the way they consume media. And then the third reason they go to Twitch is to like get horny, but only horny enough that they can't directly detect their own horniness. As soon as they're aware that they're horny, they're angry at being horny. I went into like the stream yesterday of somebody who was in the hot tub tag. The entire fucking chat read like people like they were like reciting the poem Ozymandias. They were there like oh, like the dust of ages, civilization is over. What have we wrought? What has happened to mankind?
Oh yeah, that's how the streams work, bro.
Good for you.
This like fucking pearl clutching where these people are like, why are you here? And like,
no, they're here, Brian. They're here to do that.
Yep.
That's the whole reason they're
That's
there.
why they're there.
They can't do it anywhere else, Brian. Like, for some reason.
I really dislike the phrase pearl clutching. I wish we had a better one.
Tell me about this, Tegan. Walk me through pearl clutching.
I like pearls. I think they're pretty.
well, yeah, no, pearls are good.
I like pearls. I think they're pretty. And like, here's the thing: is pearl clutching is specifically a symbol of a white woman being offended.
Right.
That is what it is. A white woman is
Yes.
offended. And like, I don't know anyone who appreciates breasts more than women. So like saying that like, oh, I see you on stream like in your swimsuit or whatever, being like yourself. And it's like, oh, I'm so offended. I'm not offended.
Well, I've always taken
know?
if we like take a look at the etymology of the phrase pearl clutching is not meant to be offended. It's meant to mean hysterical fear. If you're just using it to mean offense, you're using it wrong, because to clutch your pearls is because you are hiding.
Yeah, you bring your like your hand right up to your throat.
Right, you bring your hand up and you're wrapping your hand around your pearls because you've decided that whoever is in front of you is going to try and steal from you. And so pearl clutching like originated to like as a phrase designed to like criticize racism and jingoism. So because the idea was like, oh, these people are pearl clutching because they think that this fucking black man in front of them is going to steal from them. And so
and that's like absolutely not how it's used anymore.
Right. And so like,
you know,
and I think that's one of those things where like the word literally now sits in the dictionary with two different correct definitions that are like antitheses of each other, and I'm just going to walk into the fucking sea. But like pearl clutching as designed to describe hysterical, inappropriate fear.
Right.
I think is like appropriate to describe like the way people react to like anyone getting visibility or like representation in like a Twitch space. Like, oh, why do we need a disabled gamer tag? And it's like,
I agree. Okay, but coming back from wrong, but I think Tegan's not saying that the use of the word pearl clutching is wrong in that instance, but like the idea, like, because of the initial image, which is a white woman clutching her pearls, is very different from like a man decrying the death of society because there are boobs on his screen that he can't figure out how to turn off.
That he refuses to turn off and actively sought out. It's like another way that men make the rest of the world responsible for their own behavior.
Hmm.
And it's, as like a woman in a space, it's fucking annoying because everything I do is dictated by how men react. Everything I do is dictated by how men react. And it's bullshit that they also get to use the phrase that's to describe my irrational fear of something as, like, the way that they're offended about something. When, like, fuck off, dude. Like, this is not for you. It's another thing that's not for you that you've made for you. Or about you, or whatever. You know? I don't like that it's evolved in this way to be this other thing that is unrelated to the ridiculousness that is, like, genuine pearl clutching. You know?
So maybe we have another call to action this week. First, go give Sach your money.
True. And then find a male alternative for pearl clutching?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
You know...
But it's specifically about offense. Like, that's the thing you have to find, is the word that means, like, I am offended that this person is existing in this public space in a way that I do not approve of, because I cannot enjoy it in a very specific way.
Yeah. Sach, I think we cut you off like 3 times.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I was just saying, like, you know, the Twitch culture is just so... It's so weird, man.
There's no winning with Twitch culture.
There is no winning. Like, you know, like I'm a big fan of Hassan.
Hassan's cool.
Hassan is he's a political commentator on Twitch, and I mean, people just come up all the time. They're like, oh, you talk about politics, like what the fuck, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I mean, he's got a pretty big following, but still at the same time, it's like people just like really don't like what they like, you know, and they seek people out. They hate watch, like that's things like that, where it's like they'll hate watch the hot tub streamers, like Brian was mentioning, and they just
Twitch is like making up a guy to be mad about, except you don't have to make them up. They're already there.
You don't have to make them
They're
up.
They're just there, and you can be mad about them. They're right there.
Yeah.
Twitch has actually curated the man to be mad about, and like now you can look through the tags and find out exactly what kind of man you want to be mad about and look at them.
God damn it.
These fucking people, these fucking people who are sitting in the hot tub streams, having the vapors, are the same.
That's another white woman thing. All of the derogatory shit is about white women. Oh my god, like I know we're weapons, but like fuck's sake.
Oh my god.
Okay, hold on. Guys, we have to get through this.
But I'm just saying that these people are the same people who are currently out there on fucking Reddit with their little picket signs saying,
same dudes.
Aloy, wear boner.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Wear boner. I hate that she's in a hot tub. Like, he's just like, come on.
I hate that this human woman is in a hot tub. Why is the video game lady not hot?
Like, what are you mad about?
Fuck off.
It's the duality of Reddit man. The duality of Reddit man.
The duality of Reddit man sucks.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking garbage.
Yes.
Holy shit.
It's shit and more shit, yeah.
God damn it.
They're sitting there getting all mad about the hot tub streamers. Meanwhile, streamers like XQC, probably the most popular streamer on the platform, is sitting there playing slots for 7 hours a day, like real slots, losing tens of thousands of dollars.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
not good. That's a problem.
Right? And it's like, you know, I mean, he's so rich, it's like a drop in the bucket for him, but it's like, it's a bad thing to like display. And like, you know, I don't necessarily have a problem with him as a, like, you know, he's got issues, but separate from that, I just think like the gambling, like that's way worse. I think that's way worse in every possible way than like seeing some boobs, like, you know.
Part of me is like, you shouldn't, I don't think Twitch should allow
people to gamble on stream.
But then I'm like, I think about that like just a half second more and I'm like, well, Genshin, you can't stream Genshin then.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, or like, what about people playing poker in person together?
I think is like legitimately engaging and entertaining. But I think that like slots just kind of like normalizes that fucking behavior. You know, it just ugh.
I mean, you could. What about like a bunch of different games and styles of games? Like, as soon as you're like, oh, people shouldn't be able to stream gambling. It's like, okay, so Genshin people can't stream anymore. or at least they can't stream their polls,
Yeah.
you know?
Or like any gacha, right? Really?
Right.
Yeah, right.
Those people who open up card packs, they can't stream anymore.
Right.
And some people just like watching people get stuff they like, you know?
No, I feel that.
Does that make sense? Like, you know, like, this person was hoping for this card and they got it, that's great, like, and I can share in that, like, excitement and that joy remotely because, like, I don't have the funds to do it, but now I'm excited that they've succeeded, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, can't do that, you know? I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
It's problems. Fucking goddamn it. I am not paid to sort that shit out, though.
Tegan, are you paid to sort out youth esports?
God, no. I almost said I wish I was, and then I was like, no, I don't. Nintendo is getting into what I called quote-unquote youth esports, because I don't... At what point are they considered youths, you know?
Nah, it's high school kids. These are youths.
Yeah, so Nintendo's teamed up with PlayVersus to allow Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and Splatoon 2 in their high school leagues starting this fall, which start on September 20th if you want to watch. PlayVersus is a program that enables high school teams around the country to compete against each other through online matches and seasonal leagues. Games that are offered already are League of Legends, Smite, Rocket League, Madden, and FIFA.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And there are college teams who have League of Legends teams now. So, like...
My school had a League of Legends team, yeah. We also had a CSGO team.
Like, LCS is actually, like, doing college matches on Twitch for, like, the past, like, week.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
It's proper, like, work at this point. Like, that's a career you could do. So, like, what PlayVersus is going to do, though, is they're going to actually provide schools in the league with Switch systems, and then 3,000 select schools are going to get a copy of either Super Smash Bros. Or Splatoon 2, and a Nintendo Switch Online 12-month membership. Like, that's cool.
I have a lot of feelings about this, actually. Fuck.
Yeah.
So I do want to start with, like, a while back, I talked about how, like, the way that sports, like, real, like, standard physical sports, like, proliferated in, like, the United States, and they went, like, generally two different paths, which is the NBA NFL path, which is where, like, they co-opt the public school system, and the MLB, which is where they do, like, feeder leagues where, like, they basically starve lower tier players and then just handsomely reward anyone that, like, rises to the top. And, like, Nintendo seems like they're leaning toward the, like, youth esports thing, which makes sense because, like, a lot of their demographic that they already market to are children. Mm-hmm. And they have vehemently rejected most organic, community-led competitive scenes that have popped up in the past, like, 2 decades, essentially. Mm. If this is what they're actually going to do, like, they're lending to this infrastructure, which is also a way for them to make more money, like, on a consistent basis. Because, like, schools are always going to have more kids, which means if they're always going to send these out, and they even if they sell them at a discount, it means it's still cash flow. Mm-hmm. But I'm not really concerned about it. I think kids should be able to get into esports. Like, I don't have beef with that at all. I am super mad because I would have been an incredible high school video game caster. I would have rocked that shit so fucking hard.
You would have been, like, your real life job by now would be gamecasting.
Yeah.
I'm positive.
I could have done it. And, like, I'm not going to show up at a school and tell them I can run their stream even though I can. Because I know how to do that. Like, I know I'm, like, trying to learn how to do, like, this single camera Twitch stream thing. But, like, as far as, like, video game tournament streams, I know how to do that shit. I already understand it. Mm. This is also going to create, like, a whole, like, secondary market, presumably, if, like, this stuff, like, becomes consistent. Like, they'll eventually, like, have a guy do the stream or whatever, and, like, kids will, like, do the casting. But, like, you know, the bigger, like, schools or whatever, like, that actually do well at this, they'll, like, hire people like Team Spooky and shit. And, like, that may actually, like, expand, like, the casting talent for games like this, which is also a good thing. Because, like, Riot's been running, like, the same, like, 8 dudes for the past 10 years. Mm-hmm. And, like, they can't actually do it forever. That's not fucking real. Having these kind of, like, secondary leagues pop up in, like, school levels, like, I have a friend who is a coach for a League of Legends team at a local high school. And they don't do a lot of events. They don't have like a regular season or anything. But one of the things that they do is a Memorial Day tournament. I watched them run that on stream yesterday. And, you know, it was League of Legends, and Brian, I'm sorry to say that it wasn't important League of Legends, honestly. Like, because, you know, they're kids and they're not that good. Even though, like, the players at, like, the top level are, like, only a few years older than them. But, like, the way that they're, like, setting up the stream and, like, the way that they're, I guess, curating an experience for people who are interested in just watching these kids play. And what this does, what Play Versus is able to do, or what they're starting to do, is create esports built in with the one thing that it was missing, which is an audience. That, like, whoever cares about these kids are going to watch them do whatever the fuck. And if it happens to be playing video games, then, like, they can work with that audience and try to build something that looks like an actual program. So I'm actually really interested in this, because there's handfuls of these things that show up, and Play Versus, like, actually connecting with schools may be one of the smarter ways to do it. I mean, it's better than, like, running programs in, like, fucking special Walmarts throughout the country so, like, parents can drop off their kids while they're buying groceries. Like, that doesn't seem like the best strategy for esports, but this one seems like a pretty good idea if it actually works out.
Yeah, this one seems to have, like, actual legs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it seems smart to have, like, to partner that way and actually do something deeper than, like you said, like, dropping them off at the Walmart while they're at the buying groceries and shirts or whatever.
And if you're a kid and you're already, like, a gamer, you know, this is, I hate to frame it this way, but it's a way to be like, yeah, Mom, I joined this team, and so, like, this is now practice, and I can get scholarships for this.
Yeah, I mean, I think competitive games are more popular than ever.
I was just saying, like, yeah, just, like, get your parents, like, off your back. Because, like, you're always on the game, you know? It's like, Mom, I'm practicing. I could actually make real money doing this.
As long as, like, my grades are up, I can still participate, like, at school. So, like, you know, because you know the schools will cut them off if their grades are dropping, so...
Man, okay, so I'm also kind of worried about that, depending on how lucrative this becomes. Because everyone's familiar with, like, the jock trope that doesn't know the difference between, like, I don't know, Turkestan and, like, Thanksgiving turkey.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If the school just keeps passing them along because they're productive for, like, the school, like, they play good in games, which, like, fill seats, which makes the school money and whatnot. If that happens with esports, I'm gonna be really fucking mad. Like, holy shit. Like, if Sneaky was in high school and, like, he was actually, like, filling stadiums the way that he did, like, with C9, but, like, an actual high school, they wouldn't have made him do pre-cal for nothing. Mm-hmm. They would have had some kid fill in his answers, and that would have been the end of it.
Right.
Huh.
Brian, do you have any words for youth esports?
I wish...
You wish you had it when you were a kid. I gotcha.
No, like, I think the thing that I more wish is that there was money out there that was, like, platform agnostic.
There is. But it's
right.
not big or anything.
Right. I think that, like, when I see platforms like Nintendo or Sony or Microsoft, like, there is, like, or even if, like, say, like, Activision were to, like, at some point, like, throw money at some high schools and be like, hey, kids, do you want to play the Overwatch? Like, whenever a publisher or a platform themselves are the one throwing the money, then, like, I start to have, like, a level of concern about, like, the end goal of the person throwing the money. And, like, if you, like, say, look at, like, basketball, like, conceptually, the NBA doesn't own the idea of basketball, right?
Well, sure.
And someone could, like, theoretically, like, move forward and, like, propel themselves and do things with basketball. Like, you can use basketball to get money to, like, pay for college and, like, never have a relationship with the NBA. And so I guess the thing that, like, is weird about youth esports and, like, platforms is that, like, at some point, like, some steps further up the chain and back in the process is a relationship with, like, this, like, corporate entity that has goals about their platform or individual products. But I realized that, like, someone just been like, hey, here's money for video game sports for kids, like, you know, and let's try and keep it so that way we're not beholden to a single, like, corporate entity is really pie in the sky thinking and not going to go much of anywhere.
I mean, if there was a way to do it, if you can figure out a way to do it, I'm sure people will do it.
I think the closest thing would be like Tetris. But like deciding on like which iteration of Tetris is kind of messy.
Right.
Right.
But like Tetris would probably be the best thing because like does the Russian government still get royalties? But like even then, like it depends, if I remember correctly.
Tetris is a mess.
Right.
We should do a Patreon special about like the history of Tetris and the current legal status of the rights, because it is interesting shit.
Hmm.
It is some weird shit,
Yeah.
for sure. It could be something like Street Fighter or something like that, unless that's a little too violent for kids, I guess you could say, but...
It depends on the game, like,
Yeah.
just like everything else.
Like I think you might like if there was like some sort of like upscaled like Street Fighter 2, because it's just like I think that you need something old enough where like the rights wouldn't exactly be tied to like the particular company, but like the IP becomes a whole thing. It's God, I don't know.
We found the exact problem with esports in youth.
Just about everything else with esports, there will be answers to these questions. It just will take time.
Right.
This is one of those things where I believe that part of the answers might be VR. I know that there is a certain level of like antagonism that there's a lot of people who push back against esport, and I think that the reason that they're pushing back is the wrong reasons, where they're like, the kids are just sitting there, and I think that like as soon as the kids aren't just sitting there, like there'll be like a degree of like perception that changes. Like if a bunch of kids like walk out in like their jerseys and so forth, and they're like standing up and they're moving around because they're like doing something in like say room scale VR, then like two like old fuddy-duddies who don't really understand how things work, that'll look more to the casual observer like a sport thing. And so I think more people will be willing to throw money at it in that instance.
I mean,
that also though like limits the kids who can play.
Wait, but guys, listen to me. What about a future? It's somewhat distant, where augmented reality is figured out, and you have a soccer football stadium full of people to watch an augmented reality, nondescript monster battling challenge. That could be dope. Just saying, I could have casted it.
Then we got Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments for college level, and Pokemon.
I mean, that makes sense, especially like kids would like start with Pokemon, and maybe they get into some of the other like stuff, but like the real money's in like the complexity of like Yu-Gi-Oh and like Magic the Gathering. I could buy that. That could make sense.
That's all gonna be huge disparities in team quality and ability to play based on wealth.
That's true. But, like, maybe if it's not just cards, like, if it is actually the grind, like, money will still be a significant factor, but, like, the entry level is what's important. Mm-hmm. And I think something like augmented reality that, like, maybe can be, like, simplified with stuff like glasses, or, like, the technology. What was the name of that company that we were talking about that had the pets and the glasses? Fuck, I can't remember right now. But, like, they're selling something that's, like, obviously gonna cost, like, in the thousands of dollars, but, like, it looks like real proof of concept. Like, stuff like that, if that becomes, like, better, obviously, like, richer schools are going to be able to use that a bit more effectively. But if it, like, simplifies to something like Pokemon Go, where all you need is an entry-level smartphone and a camera, then, like, they could still play. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Because, I mean, like, there are, like, definitely countries that, like, able to enter. Like, I still think of, like, Arslan Ash from, like, Pakistan, or, like, the Brazilian Tekken scene, and, like, how nuts those guys are. And, like, they don't ball the way that, like, most of the global north does. And, like, they are extremely competitive, and it's because they've been, like, playing and, like, developing their tech, possibly in isolation. That's why we don't know about them, but they've still been able to produce significant talent.
Is that the news? Is that the news this week?
That is the news.
That is the news.
So everyone, this has been our show. It's called Impossible Coin. You know, we got into it this week. That's why it's a little long. You know the vibes. If you like the show, you can find it wherever podcasts are found, except for SoundCloud, because fuck SoundCloud. Except one very important exception is our good friend, kid brother of the show, Big Sach, who has his home on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/Big Sach and J. Please be sure to give him money whenever you can. He deserves it. He made the music at the beginning and end of this program.
Thank you.
Our logo is also a t-shirt. It was designed by Laura Moran. You can find her on Twitter at Laura Moran and consider donating to her Patreon because she does the good business. And speaking of Patreon, we have one of those too at patreon.com/Impossible Coin Podcast, where you'll find our artisanal show notes, our bespoke watch-alongs, and audio essays about things that we care about, like specific video game topics, maybe about Tetris, maybe about Paper Mario, maybe about the Zelda timeline, but also about other things that we care about, like anime and wrestling and stuff like that. Check it out if you're interested. If you want to talk to any of us directly, like a little bit more specifically, you can find us on social media. I'm on Facebook and Instagram, Brian's on Twitter, Tegan's on Tumblr. It's all on Possible Coin. No dashes, underscores, or anything weird like that. In fact, if you try to look us up and you find something weird like that, please let us know, because we're trying to, deal with those. But that's us. That's the show.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate whenever you guys have me on the show. It's always a delight.
It's great having you, Sach.
We were here for 87 years and we didn't even get the story of you getting tasered.
Oh, shit. Fuck us.
Oh, yes. Not tasered, but pepper sprayed.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, pepper sprayed in Poland and taken to a drunk tank type thing overnight. And it was very scary.
That was a big wild, man.
Yeah. I'll tell it next time.
For sure.
Worry.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Peace.
All right, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.
Later.